right. We are live. What's up, everybody? It's good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out tonight with us. And we got a lot to cover tonight. And we got a topic of the week I think will be very good. I'm really looking forward to talking about it anyway. Kingsley kind of already started ahead of me on it, and I said, hell yeah. We were talking in the background. I said, yeah, let's definitely do that because that's pretty topical right now. So how's everybody doing? Can everybody hear myself and Kingsley in the chat? I'd always like to check before we proceed with the
Discord
podcast.
should be good, but I guess let Todd know if you can't hear us on YouTube or Twitch.
Yep. Make a point of talking shit about me and pulling up and don't even respond.
Ooh, I don't know. Can you read us?
Yeah, I can read you. I read you now. All right. Okay. Let's do a podcast. I think we're good here. All right, here we go. 3, 2. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 320 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator. I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. Those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise. We like to sprinkle in some other entertainment and other topics of discussion as well from time to time, especially on our roundtable episodes, which was last week. If you missed that, go back and listen to that or watch that on our YouTube or Twitch. I had some really good topics last week. I really appreciate the guys for coming out and talking with us then. For those of you who are listening right now on the podcast platforms out there and want to check out our live shows, just go to Todd the Gator on YouTube and Twitch. That's Todd, Todd, Thegatr. Like I said, on YouTube and Twitch. And there's replays also from our live shows. I have replays on, so you can immediately watch it. If you can't make the live show, you can watch the replay afterwards. We're on every Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, if you want to listen to any of our podcasts in any order you like, you can always go to guardiandowncast.com for any individual episodes as well. This week, I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack, was with us again. How you doing, man?
Hey, glad to be here yet once again.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you being here, man. This week, we're going to catch up with our week, of course, see how we're doing in Bungie and Destiny and life. I have one movie review this week that I'm going to talk about. As usual, we'll report on any pertinent information from this week in Destiny from Bungie, and we definitely have some info we need to share, especially right before we go into Ash and Iron next week. We'll be going over briefly the latest sandbox tuning preview that Bungie dropped on Wednesday. Bungie. We'll get into that. Also, before we leave tonight, we have a fresh topic of the week to share, and hopefully our live chat will also give us some input as well as we're proceeding through our show tonight. If there's any questions from our community, we'll be sure to answer those later in the show before we leave. So if you do have a question for us in the chat tonight, head over to our podcast questions channel and enter it in there, and we'll be able to see it and read it out live on the show tonight. And then, of course, we'll talk about our question of the week I posted in the Discord. Every week I post a survey about something typically in Destiny, and we'll read over any comments or also share the results of the little survey. And tonight it very much ties into our topic of the week. So hopefully that'll turn out really well. And of course, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, join our community. It's probably one of the friendliest, and this was according to a new member that joined this week, one of the friendliest Destiny communities they've ever been in. So that's a great compliment coming from a new member. So if you want to join, it's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. Ash and Iron is only a few days away. So get that reward pass completed, guys, because it all goes away in a week or less than a week. All right. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Well, Mr. Kingsley Mack, before we get into our information overload on Destiny this week and Bungie, what have you been doing this week, man? What do you got for us this week? I saw that you were playing the new DLC for Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones game. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, that came out today, so I did start playing that, and I love it. It's good to get back into that game. Anyone who doesn't remember me talking about it earlier,
Yeah.
The latest Indiana Jones game, which you can get on PC Game Pass if you want to just, if you don't want to buy it. Great exploration game with some light puzzle solving. Think of like a Tomb Raider or or journey type game. Great storyline. Definitely has a feel of the Indiana Jones movies, and they came out with a new DLC today called Order of the Giants, which takes place basically in the catacombs underneath Rome.
Ooh, wow.
And I'm having a lot of fun with it so far, of course. And that was on my list. Go back and listen to last week's
Yes.
episode if you want to hear. Part of my roundtable discussion was games coming up that I'm looking forward to.
I still don't know how you're
But
going to
let
be
me
able to
tell
play.
you,
I don't know how you're going
September's
to play all these
crazy.
games.
Hey, because it just works out. Like, I don't have to finish a game before I move to another game. I can go back and
Yeah,
forth and
I got you.
put some on hold. But I even added some more to my list.
Oh,
So I
no.
just want to mention
All right, let's hear them.
quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, I don't know why I added some of these because
Glutton for punishment.
I mean, I was watching Astrocross play it again. This has always kind of been on my list, but I wanted to write it down so I don't forget. Path of Exile 2, I mean, it's like a Diablo type game. Whatever.
Okay.
We don't need to get into the big
Right.
discussion on that. But Hell is Us is another one that's coming out in a couple days, or basically is out right now. And it is kind of like light horror, but it's not like a Silent Hill game. It's more an adventure action game,
Okay.
but there's some light horror built into it, and it looked really interesting from what I've seen. So any type of open world exploration game, I'm often going to be into.
You like the horror games,
And
huh?
then,
Okay.
yeah, I like horror games too.
Okay.
In fact, I might even check out Silent Hill and the other games coming out. But
No, thanks.
I like lots of games, except for like heavy puzzle games or heavy grinding games or things like that.
Resident Evil games early in my gaming hobby ruined me. Ruined me for horror games.
Scared?
I got scared, man. I don't like dark.
Right.
I don't like dark hallways. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, what you do? Oh, sorry. That's right. But what you do is see, like, you gotta, like, when you're playing a video game, I mean, you compartmentalize. Same thing like when or do you actually get vertigo or afraid of heights when you're in jumping puzzles in games also, like in Destiny?
Briefly I do.
Mhm.
Especially in jumping puzzles, and especially if I look like I'm gonna miss, I actually go, oh no. Yeah, I'm it's the same way I watch movies, man. I really dive in. I'm really engaged. It's that hyper focus from the monkey brain thing. So I guess that's what it is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one that other people are talking about also, because it's on Game Pass, I might check out, at least I'll dabble in it a little bit, is the new, I had the list here, the Hollow Knight new game.
Okay.
Silksong.
Silksong,
that
right.
everyone's talking about. Yeah.
I think Maddie was talking about that game. Scarlet Maddie.
Several people or lots of people have been talking about it.
That looked like it's like an indie game, right? It's a very, very plain game, but I heard a lot of good things about it.
No, don't say that. People are gonna.
No, I mean, it's a very, I don't know. Is it a side scroller? It looked like a side scroller to me. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything about games.
Wouldn't use the word plain.
But not plain.
If anything's plain, your freaking Balatro game is freaking plain.
Yeah,
That's
but I
plain
mean,
game.
I played Risk of Rain. Talk about a stripped down game, but that game was a lot of fun, man. Risk of Rain 2, that was a great game. So yeah, I apologize.
Watch a trailer of Silksong. No, the stylization is freaking amazing in it. I don't know much about the game. I've known about Hollow Knight. I haven't played the original one.
Okay.
But I might check it out, or I might just hop into the new one. But just wanted to add that on real quick. But the main thing, I want to give another recap. I talked about it a little bit recently in the TV channel on the Discord, but the final episode's coming up this Friday, tomorrow night. But the Dexter Resurrection season has continued to be amazing, in my opinion. They had the craziest thing happen on the second to the last episode. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it.
Sure.
And that episode got a 9.9 on IMDb.
Wow.
These ratings are intense that Dexter's getting.
Wow.
There's only one other show in TV history that's gotten more 9.0 and higher ratings in a row than Dexter Resurrection. You have any clue what it might be?
No clue.
Breaking Bad.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only other show that's received more 9+ consecutive ratings in a row.
That was probably Breaking Bad is probably the best TV show I've ever seen. Period.
Well, Dexter's up there too. That's the point.
It's on my list, but Lord, I got so much to watch, man.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm grinding, man. I'm grinding Destiny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear that.
So
yeah.
It is amazing. I don't know how they're doing it, especially a show like Dexter where usually things get like worse, especially if especially if they take a break and then rebrand a show.
Mhm.
How often is it going to be better when it comes back? Well, this is like as good, if not better, than the original series. I don't know
Wow.
how they're doing it. It's
Wow.
amazing.
That's awesome, man. I mean, tell me again where I can see it. Is it Hulu? The Dexter?
I don't know. I have Paramount Plus. That's
Okay.
where
Okay.
it's
I
on
got you.
Showtime. So if
Okay.
you have Paramount Plus with
It's part of
Showtime,
that.
that's how I watch it.
Yeah. It's part of
Mhm.
that. Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on,
Yeah. So
I'm
if you
sure
don't
it's on
want,
my stuff.
if you wait, it'll probably be on Hulu or Netflix. But I am not waiting for this because the Dexter is like a premiere show for me, and I have a Paramount Plus subscription that has Showtime in it and everything. So
Yeah. That's what I have too. Nice. Good deal, man.
yeah,
Good
Nick at
deal.
Night. It's not on that one,
No, it's
Tajo.
not on
Sorry.
Nick at Night. Vanilla
Unless they have Nick on Nick After Dark at night.
Vanilla Gorilla in our Twitch chat said it might be the best show out right now. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
A lot of
Seriously.
endorsements
I
for it.
agree.
Okay.
It's definitely the best show out right now because if you look at anything else, nothing is getting like 9.9s consistently, everything like that. But anyways, and it may not be your type of show, but like if you're into that even at all, like it is freaking amazing. Video games have a lot more that's coming up, but nothing worth talking about yet.
Okay.
TV, I'm having fun playing whatever. Life is good. So
Hey,
I'll
man.
pass over to you.
The fall shows are finally coming around. Even my late night shows are everybody's back off of their 3 and 4 week vacations. Like, hell, I'd love to have a 3 or 4 week vacation. By the way, Twitch TV, Sean G, thanks for stopping by tonight, man. I see you there in the chat. Finally get to see you guys live. I've been listening for almost a year at this point. Awesome, dude. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. That's a great thing, man. We get new members almost every day in our Discord. I love seeing that, man. That just makes me so happy that everybody's shit talking Destiny all the time. But look at our little community, man. We have people who still love playing it and are having fun and finding games together. I think, who was it who ran his first raid this week? Was it MJ T2? Was it MJ that someone had run a raid for the first time this week? And now he's hooked. He wants to come back and play more. Yeah. Miklo. Thank you, Tajo. Miklo. Yes, Miklo. He's one of our, I believe he's one of our Patreon supporters too. So awesome, man. Yeah, I was amazed. I love seeing, anytime I jump into the Discord, I always look and see who's gaming together. And man, I mean, it literally almost brings a tear to my face when I see people playing together that normally would never have met each other. So it's really a cool thing. Entertainment wise, I saw the latest film.
Maybe we should start a dating channel on the Discord.
No. I might do that before and after pic. I did that one time for Valentine's Day. Show me your before and after pics when you got married and now where you're at. And dude, that about brought me down seeing all the real faces of everyone who talks in our Discord all the time. So, entertainment wise, let's see. I did see the latest film that was inspired by the 1989 classic film War of the Roses, which, if you remember, starred Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas. It's kind of a romantic comedy type show, but this one was just called The Roses. This new version starred Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, which, my God, their chemistry was fantastic. It's a story of a couple that's been together for decades. They've had their family, they're enjoying their life. Now they're in their 40s, trying to move up in their careers. It all goes wrong when Benedict loses his job as an architect, but his wife's career as a chef blows up at the same time in popularity. So you see in the movie how their lives have drastically changed, and the quips and stuff that they do to each other to piss each other off is just hilarious. It's hilarious to watch. The rest of the movie, I'll have to leave for you guys. I don't want to spoil anything. Rotten Tomatoes gives this one a moderate 65% from critics, but the audience quite enjoyed it at 79%. I have to agree with the audience on this one. I thought it was probably one of the most hilarious comedies I've seen so far this year. I'd probably put it in one of my top 10 comedies for 2025 that I've seen so far, TV or movie theater. I really like this one. And I give this one 4.5 stars. I think that's the highest rating I've given a movie in a while. You won't need a big Dolby theater to watch it in like I did, but it is certainly worth it checking out. So whether you see it in the movie theater or whether you see it in the at home streaming it on your TV, I think you'll quite enjoy it. It's a really good movie. The Roses, can't miss that one. I finished all 4 seasons of Slow Horses on Apple TV. Man, I have to say, this is a great series to watch. I'm telling you, man, Apple TV, they may not have as much selection as Netflix, but everything they put out, just about every damn thing they put out is really good quality, really good writing, really good, well put together shows. Season 5 actually drops in a couple weeks. So I'm all caught up and I'm ready to see that one. So I got to readjust this fan. It's like blowing right on my face. Maybe that's what's messing my throat up. Anyway, I did a little experiment this week, and I'm hoping this will help people that have procrastinated and are trying to finish their reward passes at the last minute, and maybe at the same time try to power up a little bit, have a little fun with that. I'm gonna actually show you some video in the background here as soon as I get another drink.
There's probably more people these days that don't care than people that procrastinate and are doing the last second.
Maybe not, but I figure, Ash and Iron is on Reset Tuesday, and you have the whole weekend. So I figured it, especially for the people that are here live that maybe have been playing other games and stuff that, that trying to power up. At least they're not trying to kill themselves in the solo ops, playlist of the Portal or anything. But this is something I was experimenting with this week, and this won't apply to all you killers out there that are already over 200. But for those of us, like I said, that haven't quite finished that reward pass and are now kind of panicking to make sure you get all that gear before reset of Ash and Iron drops. And even if this test is too late for you to try out, as you're hearing this on a Monday and on our audio version of the podcast before Ash and Iron, keep this method in mind before the next seasonal update. I have been playing Edge of Fate every day this past week, and my goal before Ash and Iron drops is to complete my reward pass for my 2 alt accounts, which are GDC 2 and GDC 3. We have three Guardian Downcast clans, and I have alternate accounts, full Titan Hunter and Warlock, in both of the GDC 2 and GDC 3 clan as well. The long and the short of it is I had some extra silver, and I purchased the reward pass for both accounts last week. And then I realized that it goes away in a week. So I was panicking. I was like, holy crap, I just spent $10 on this reward pass, and I gotta get this thing completed. So here's what I did. Now, like I said, I'm going to show some background here of what I did. What I did is, I know Kingsley's going to cringe, but I collected a majority of the planetary bounties on Cosmodrome, EDZ, Europa, Dreaming City, and Nessus. There were also repeatable bounties in Europa and Cosmodrome, so I gathered those as well. The next thing I did is I completed the gunsmith bounties and repeatables every reset. In fact, I would grab more gunsmith repeatables between planets. When I'd complete the objectives on one planet, I would immediately go, or use the app, of course, and download all the repeatable gunsmith bounties as well. So I kept stacking those up every time I went to a new planet to complete bounties. Now, since my goal was to complete the reward pass, the bounties added up pretty quick, and I'm about to hit level 80 something, I think 85 on each account. And I got to admit, it took me about 5 days so far. I've been spending about a half an hour each morning and about 2 to 3 hours at night, just so you get an idea of how much time it took me to do this. I also made sure that I had my Ghost Mod Blinding Light equipped, which gave me a 12% boost in XP when turning in my bounties. I used my Guiding Light Ghost with Wombo Detector and Bountiful Harvest while patrolling the planets, which what I did, I farmed Glimmer while completing the bounties and also running patrol missions if they were fast and easy, like kill anything. When I would max out my Glimmer, I would then go back to the tower and buy enhancement prisms, Ascendant shards, and more bounties, and then just kept repeating the process for each character. Now, this way I was doing 3 things at once. First, I was ranking up my reward pass by completing the bounties. And second, I was farming Glimmer by running around the patrol spaces of each planet. And of course, I would turn those into the rare materials that my alt accounts didn't have a lot of, like my main account that I play on. But the third bonus benefit, and from this, which by the way, powers up your Guardian, I think faster than running portal activities up to 200 power, is that every blue Engram that dropped from high value targets and their chest, random yellow bar kills and occasional gold chests that I hadn't opened a bunch of them, those original golden chests that they put on each of the planets. It's on the map. If you open those, you'll get powerfuls as well, but you'll get blue and legendary Engrams. I would rotate to each character every day and do the same. And since a power is account wide now, by the time I would return back to my original character, I was getting Engrams that were up to 20, 30 higher. I even thought about doing a video about this process to help new and returning Guardians that are wanting to power up, their gear and complete their reward passes, at the last minute. But like I said, I realized by the time I got one out, there wouldn't be enough time for people to benefit. But keep this in mind. Say you want to finish the next season Ash and Iron Pass because you got some games to play, and you're level 10 to 200. This might be a more fun way to do stuff other than running portal activities or solo ops over and over and over again. Now keep in mind, I would jump into solo ops every now and then just to break the monotony of everything. And just also what I would do is I would get my my featured gear and some of the featured weapons. And what I'm basically doing is I'm going through the training mode in Portal, and I had to reach level 90 in power before it moved to the next level. So I figured, well, before I get to level 90 power, I'll just go run patrols, go on, do the planetary bounties, do some glimmer farming, do a bunch of stuff all at once. And what's great about this, I had 3 fantasy football drafts this last weekend. I had 2 on Sunday that were going on at the same time. So while I'm waiting for people to, to figure out who's the greatest running back to pick, and they're spending their full 2 minutes to figure out which one to get, and I was like, pick number 9, how long it takes, between everyone picking their players. I would just be doing this in the background that you see right now on screen. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, I encourage you to go to the YouTube replay of this podcast, and it'll show you what exactly I was doing here. But I mean, I was getting +2s, +3s, +10s, +20s from any Engrams that would fall from high value targets. I would hit a captain that was a red bar captain, and he would throw off an Engram, or even just a common red bar just would throw a blue Engram from time to time. And it wasn't rare. It happened a lot. I got both accounts here powered up to almost 100 just within the last weekend. And like I said, I'm at 85 on my reward pass. So now the real downer here is if you go into do lost sectors, the chests you get from the lost sectors only give you 10 power. It's a real bummer. And the chests that you go around and farm, with your ghost mod that detects them like they do on screen here, those only give you 10. But that was a random red bar I just shot there. And there's a blue Engram right there floating on the ground. This happens so often. It just rained loot. And instead of getting 1 or 2 or even 3 maybe Engrams by playing a whole portal activity, you can go around, get your bounties done, get your reward pass powered up, everything, just by chilling out. It's not even really, heavy lifting here. It's just having fun, just chilling out. And I've been doing this for years, but I figured I'd throw this little video replay out here in case people out there that are just getting back into Destiny and are like, hey, I need to get to 200, the soft cap. And then, I want to get there as quick as I can. And also I need materials. I want to get that reward pass done. So I just want to mention, this was a little experiment I threw on. My main account's 403 power, and I just have no desire to play heavy metal. I'm sorry. I played it last time and it was already a pain. I actually bought the pass out, I think, because I just did not want to play any more of that type of thing. But I just love progression. I love seeing numbers go up. It's the one part of Destiny that I love to do, and it never gets time. I never get tired of doing it. So I just wanted to show you guys that in the background while I was talking about it, and just show you proof that how easy it was to just power up to 200 from just doing just all kinds of different things at once. So anyway, I wanted to just show you that. I put those clips together just from yesterday, just running one of my accounts, one of my characters. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know it's probably too late, and probably a lot of you guys that are already at 200, this won't apply to you, but I just want to throw that out there. Do you want to mention
Well,
anything,
one
Kings?
thing I'm a little confused about is you're talking about two things. It's
Well,
not too late for 200 because power level's not changing. But if you're talking about the season pass bar, then of course that's the one that's going to be
that
going
was the
away.
main thing, Kingsley, is I wanted to, I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
saw this awesome
Let's talk
gear.
about two different things.
Well,
Yeah,
I saw this awesome, well, I was doing three things at once. I saw this awesome
yeah.
gear. I want to get the, I want to get the featured gear, even though it was only tier 2, but they had the featured weapons,
So
all the featured stuff.
people definitely don't need to stress about power no matter what,
No,
because
no, that
that's
was just
not
a,
going away.
yeah. But
Yeah.
what I was saying, Kingsley, that was the byproduct. That's what kind of happened. Well, I didn't realize how many of these blue and purple Ingrams that were legendary Ingrams that were falling down just randomly, just from doing glimmer farming and bounty hunting. And I know you don't like doing bounties.
We talked about that on the podcast. You can do
Yeah.
anything in the game up to
You
200.
can. You can.
I got up to 200 by just doing
Yeah.
Kepler stuff.
Yeah.
And I got up to 200 like that.
Yeah.
Real
Now,
quick and easy.
that's the thing. I did run on my main character. I did run the Kepler campaign. And I think I was almost at 200 by the time I finished the legendary version of that. So but I didn't want to do that. Because if you run the campaign, unfortunately, it doesn't give you enough XP to power up your pass. I remember after completing every mission on Kepler, I'd look at my pass. I'm like, it barely moved. So they're still making have that problem of not applying the XP to the game activities. So it goes back to doing
there's
bounties
also
again.
the side missions, and then there's the chests in Kepler, and there's also the Sea of Activity, and there's a lot of other ways to get XP. I got my season pass bar up very easily.
Yeah.
Without really trying this season.
Yeah. So I like I said, I had the fantasy football drafts this weekend. I'm like, what am I going to do that I can do without having to think about it? Because when it became my pick in fantasy football, I would just go hide in a cave somewhere while doing patrols, or I go to orbit, just fly back down. But I mean, you can get 12,000 glimmer from doing a heroic public event. Easy those are to get done solo. So things like that. But anyway, I'll back away. I'll back away slowly. But we got a bunch of information to talk about tonight, Kingsley. So let's not waste any more time and get right in it with This Week in Destiny. All right, let's get into it.
Just wanted to make the podcast longer.
No, that's why I mentioned before the show that I wanted to show a little loop of video that I recorded. Plus I was testing a new overlay out, a new scene out. I wanted to see
figure out a way to bring that in Discord. People want to see it there too.
Oh, I know, man. Problem is, if I share my screen, it throws the windows around. I'm probably just gonna.
Again, why you got to change to a different format?
I'm gonna see what I can do there. I agree. Unfortunately, people have to go to YouTube or Twitch if they want to watch it.
And there's going to be times where I want to share my screen too.
Yeah.
So I really suggest you try to figure out a different overlay.
I've actually got an overlay, but it's not very clean looking. I like this. This has a much cleaner look. But anyway, all right. This Week in Destiny. You want to do the sandbox? Let's do the sandbox tuning first, because the TWID kind of rolls into the sandbox, kind of ties in with it. So one thing I did want to mention, did you see the trailer for Ashen Iron? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
I mean, it was only 1 minute and 43 seconds. It wasn't like they put on a big production, but I should record this probably, right? Okay, here we go. All right, before we get into This Week in Destiny, I was curious, Mike, did you see the little trailer they had out for Ashen Iron coming next week?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I posted about it first in the Discord, and it was a fun trailer to watch.
Yeah.
Of course, just because this is a good trailer, don't get your hopes up too much, people. Bungie can always make a good trailer. Doesn't mean the content will be freaking amazing. But being in the game long enough and just kind of reading the tea leaves, here's what I'm excited about or not excited about. The new activity on the Plague Lands, from what they're showing so far, looks or boring to me. Hopefully it'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
But we don't know much yet. Now it's interesting because in another time they mentioned something like this was going to be a very unique, involved, one of the best activities they've made. I forgot about that, and Astrocross or someone brought it up today.
Mm-hmm.
But in the trailer they showed, it did not look very interesting, whatever they were showing us. So we'll see. Jury is out on that one.
Yeah.
They also showed that we have a new exotic mission coming, if you don't remember. So the two new main things, and of course there's other kind of newish things with quality of life and things like that, but as far as actual content drops, we're also getting an exotic mission. Now that looked really interesting to me.
Yeah.
It had a bunch of scions with shields running around. They were zipping fast. Like, I don't know if we have to chase them around or what we're doing. And
Yeah.
then a bunch of Vex also. And Scion and Vex are kind of actually some of my favorite enemy types. So this will be, I'm very intrigued to see what's happening.
I'm looking at the video now. Did you see where we actually jump into a brig?
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Next.
Pretty cool.
And it's, so that's probably only going to be in the activity, the public event activity.
Right.
There's no way that's going to be happening in every single other activity, but it looks interesting / cool. We'll see what happens there. We jump in a brig and we're moving a brig around. They also show, along with that, using the axe, kind of like the big relic we had in Rise of Iron. Remember the big golden axe thing?
Yeah.
Fire axe. And that's probably not going to be an actual weapon. That'll probably be a relic also, just in now. Watch, I'll be wrong on this, but that's what people are guessing so far. That's probably what we have to guess.
Yeah.
We do have 2 new redacted weapons, and one is a heavy, but I really don't think it's going to be that axe fire thing. But everywhere. But
I've got it frozen on screen. Yeah.
And then just kind of some.
There, I got it frozen on screen here. It looks like another rocket propelled pulse rifle. It looks like it has a grenade launcher maybe built into it or something. Because I saw
something else. I was talking about the X.
Yeah.
The other.
You're talking about the X.
Yeah. There is another thing too. This rocket, pulse rifle thing. So it's going to be Strand, and I believe this is the exotic weapon that we're guessing is going to come from the mission.
Okay. I
think I heard that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So that's initial thoughts. There's not much to say, but any other thoughts that you had on it?
I just I was very surprised they didn't pump this up more than they did. You know, they're really good at promoting their DLCs and drops and stuff, but this last minute and a half trailer is about all they had about it. They, think they could have mentioned this in last week's TWAB to kind of get us all fired up for it, but whatever the case, I think the exotic mission quest looks more fun than the activity, but we'll have to see. I mean, they don't show you much in the activity, and it kind of reminded me of that one activity we had on Mars with all the scions and stuff. I can't remember. There's been so many activities that are very much alike. I hope it's something different. I really want it to be something different, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes, I guess. But no, that's all I had to say on it. I didn't really have much else to add to it, but I mean, there really wasn't much else to really talk about. It was just such a short trailer.
We already know there really isn't much to this. I mean, it's always nice to have an exotic mission, and it's always nice to have a new activity, but when it really comes down to it, for someone like me, I have realistic low expectations. This will keep me interested for a week or two, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm done. So in a way, I think they were doing the right amount. Like they can't like pump us up too much, and then we're like, wait a second, we thought this was going to be the most amazing activity and mission ever, and it's just some like lame little thing.
Don't over deliver, Kingsley. Come on now.
Right?
Don't over deliver. Oh man, he's never going to live that comment down. And I actually know the context when he said over deliver. It did not. Never mind. Anyway, I watched that entire GDC presentation that Justin Truman did, and it was not as bad as what everyone keeps saying about the over delivery thing. Anyway, let's get into the sandbox tuning preview for Ashen Iron first, because I have things to say about this. I'll just put it on screen. We'll just go through it little by little here. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. I just want to, we'll just go through it.
Try to summarize.
I'm going to try to summarize, and maybe you jump in at time to time as well.
It's not like people listening are going to memorize every word you say.
I understand, but they talk about the reticles, the hipfire reticles and stuff. I really don't care about any of that stuff, to be honest. Deterministic recoil, they did put deterministic recoil, but they're taking it back off now, which honestly, between me and you, if you don't play Crucible, it's really, you don't have to worry about that stuff, guys. Heavy burst sidearms, the Forgiveness. I love heavy burst sidearms, but apparently the Trials of Osiris one called Forgiveness has been a little too rangy. I guess it's been hard to defend yourself from it. So they're reducing the range by 15. Easy enough. Aggressive submachine guns, they're increasing the ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.4 to 1.5. Don't have much to say there because I don't use a lot of submachine guns. The spread shot hand cannons, this is really funny because they have a spread shot hand cannon in Arms Week. And then, of course, they have a new one now in Trials. And now, now they're, I guess they're increasing it. Yeah, but they're also increasing the pellets.
It's half and half.
They're increasing the damage by 8%. Okay. This is PvE, guys, by the way. They're adding a tenth of a second delay after firing before you can melee to prevent, the simultaneous damage events. But they're increasing the spread angle by 5% and reducing flinch dealt to players by 30%. So 2 steps forward,
Half and half, like I said. Yeah.
1 step back. Sniper rifles. This was really, I might actually take up sniping in Crucible again. I don't know, but they're actually going to increase the ammo that you pick up in Crucible from 1 to 2, which I think was really good. What frustrated me when I played sniper on like Iron Banner and when I played various Crucible is if you didn't hit that first shot, you're screwed. And I would hit people in the head with certain sniper rifles and it would not kill them because back then their resilience was maxed out and I couldn't one-shot them with a damn sniper rifle. I couldn't believe it. So the fact that I have a second bullet to finish the job, that's going to be at least a little more fun to use sniper rifles in Crucible. We'll move on. Lightweight shotguns decrease pellet spread angle by 6%. I guess that's a nerf. Crossbows. They're Esther Cross just got this crossbow. We swearing by this crossbow and I guess they're updating. These are UI. This is UI changes. They're All right. The bolts now have a heavy ammo radar marker visible only when the player who owns them, an updated weapon trait icon, obituary, and kill feed to reflect the crossbow's unique silhouette. That's fine. No big deal. If you're using it in Crucible, you'll know what killed the person. All right. They're bringing some new featured weapons in Ashen Iron. They have 2 redacted weapons. One is a kinetic and one is a heavy. And I have a feeling we know because we just looked at the trailer, or at least we can guess. The Mida multi-tool and the Sturm, the Trinity Cool and Buried Bloodline, and the Darcy, my favorite sniper rifle.
You always want to like that, yet it's never
Dude,
been
it's my
meta.
favorite sniper rifle, but it sucks. It still doesn't hit as good. But man, when
If
you
it's
get
meta this time around, I'll throw you a pizza party.
hell yeah, dude, when you guys get that arc for arc builds, Darcy is just fantastic, man. Heart Shadow, Sleeper Simulant, okay, and Tractor Cannon of all things is going to be featured in Ashen Iron. Mida Multi-Tool. Now they're changing things up a little bit here. I love the Mida Multi-Tool. They are changing I guess they said that the exotic perks are a little too plain, a little too vanilla. And since exotics have progressed quite a bit, they're going to give some new traits to Mida Multi-Tool. And I love using it. Even in Crucible, I love using this gun. But if you get enough kills with Mida Multi-Tool, it provides various buffs and incremental PvE changes after reaching a certain threshold. So stage 1, you get 25% faster handling and ADS speeds. It's already fast. 5% PvE damage. Stage 2, 15 range and stability and 5% PvE damage. That's additional 5%. Stage 3, 15%. What's that? AA. Auto aim or magnetism of ranges, 5% cone angle and 5% PvE damage. So that's 15% now PvE damage. Stage 4, shots detonate on impact. That's what got my attention. What do you think about that, Kingsley? That's gonna be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, there's just lots that they're buffing.
Okay. I love Mida Multi-Tool. It's my favorite since Destiny 1. Kills with weapons that have the Mida synergy intrinsic also grant progress toward these buffs. So your Mida mini tool will be adding to that. Keep that in mind. And on death, you regress to the beginning of the previous stage, but you don't reset. That's huge. In playing solo ops, I might be picking that Mida Multi-Tool up to pop some heads. The catalyst, they replace no distractions with a brand new catalyst. I like no distractions, especially in Crucible. While an enemy is within close proximity and Mida Multi-Tool is in hand, you are granted enhanced radar resolution and improved reload speed. It's already maxed out. 20 reload stat and 50% reload scalar. Okay, so it's going to be like ultra fast reload on this thing now. and it lingers for a few seconds once enemies are no longer in close proximity. Okay. I don't really care about that. I wish give me no distractions back, because I loved using that in Crucible, especially against snipers. All right, here's the interesting one. Sturm and what's the sidearm of Sturm that goes with it? Is it
Drang.
Sturm and Drang? Remember how big that was in Destiny 2 vanilla? Well,
It wasn't big to everyone. It wasn't big to me.
It wasn't big to me either, because I don't like hand cannons, but man, they are giving this thing a really good buff. They said rapid kills with Together Forever weapons within 3 seconds of each other now load extra Sturm overcharge shots. Primary ammo Together Forever weapons load even more Sturm overcharge. Sturm overcharge shots bonus damage has been tuned. Previously, it was a 261% damage buff against all combatants and a 78% buff on players in Crucible. New values are now 260 against bosses, 280 against mini bosses and champions, 300 against minors and majors, and 75% against players. So it's more in line in Crucible, but they're giving you some major buffs in PvE. And so, yeah, if you use the Sturm and Drang, which they actually showed in that trailer, by the way, for Ash and Iron, I don't know. I might play with it and see. I've got both those weapons. The Catalyst has been changed as well. Miscellaneous Lucky Pants now buffs the damage of Sturm recharge shots, but at a lower than normal efficacy. 110% buff at illegally modded holster times 10. Increased Sturm's ammo generation from 30 to 80. Okay. Fixed it. There's a visual effect on it. And now there'll be lens flare when opposing players in PvP see that the Sturm's charged. Okay. Ariana's Vow will also have a lens flare. Graviton Spike, they graded this great hand cannon that is killer, and even in Crucible, it's a killer weapon. So now it's time to bring it back down. So they're reducing the time to gain overcharge shots from 20 seconds to 7. Reduce time to gain temporal alignment catalyst buff from infinite to 7 seconds. Is that a buff or a nerf? It sounds like a nerf. Reduce time to gain overcharge shots. Yeah, you have a small window to gain those shots. Okay. Teraba. They're bringing the zoom back to where it originally was at 16. And here, this was interesting. Teraba with Ravenous Beast active, in addition to Peacekeepers, which is a Titan exotic, damage buff was proving to be extreme outlier. We want to make sure it stays very strong, and with the high investment and needed close range to remain worth it. But in the top end, combined damage needed to come down a bit, particularly to maintain the fair competition in our raid and dungeon activities. So they reduced the Peacekeeper's bonus damage when using Teraba with Ravenous Beast active from 100 to 70%. Hawkmoon, Lucky Pants now buffs the damage of paracausal shot, but lower than normal efficacy, 50% buff at times 10. New Land Beyond. I'm not even going to talk about New Land Beyond. They're increasing to 999 if you continue to stack. I don't even know why we should even care about that. Lord of Wolves, it's almost like they just they watched this world's first race and saw everything that was people were using that were destroying bosses, and now they're just the fun police is here. They're decreasing the release of wolves damage versus bosses by 20%. So maybe that might not be brought into the day one. Grand Overture, where they reduced the total reserves from 58 to 48, and the Omega Strike micro missiles no longer require direct hits, so they'll as an area effect damage is what they're saying there. Queensbreaker reduced. Outbreak Perfected. They reduced the super energy generation. I use this in the raid, man. I love the Outbreak Perfected. It's just destroying fools right now. They've reduced the damage based recharger super contribution, slightly reduced the nanites damage based recharger super. I hope this day didn't nerf Outbreak Perfected too badly, because I really love using this gun. Barodiad, they did a lot of the same thing to that, and Hierarchy of Needs. Thunderlord, Fun Police is here, fixed an issue with the Thunderlord cast where it's refilling more the ammo than was intended, so that'll be brought back down to normal. Whirling Ovation, that's an exotic I don't even have, but they've looks like they're Optimized damage rotation. Utilizing Whirling Ovation should see an anticipation meter fill time decrease from 10 seconds to 8. Less optimized damage rotations will see more significant fill time decrease. Okay. All right, weapon perks. Burning Ambition, which I've really been enjoying this perk on the new weapons. We're overall very happy to see how it's working, but this perk uses some fancy new tech to make it easier to build and maintain these kinds of perks. In some cases, the enhanced version of the perk would not provide a decrease in number of shots to activate. So the time to activate shots have been reduced to 2 seconds. Enhanced time to activate threshold. My God, it just gets in the weeds here. It looks to me like Burning Ambition's getting a smaller window to activate. And I mean, it just, I'm getting a headache just reading all this. Enhanced perk improvements. Dragonfly, they removed the reload speed, but they added more damage. Same thing for Cluster Bomb, same thing for Reservoir Burst, same thing for Magnificent Howl, Eye of the Storm, but they added 10% effectiveness to all Eye of the Storm benefits. So if any of you have any weapons with Eye of the Storm, might need to test those out coming the next DLC. Flash Counter added 1 second to disorient time. Chain Reaction added 10% damage, but removed plus 20 inventory size. Okay. Headstone removed 5 stability, but added precision kills always generate a large stasis crystal. Chill Clip takes less to activate now. Hatchling, there's a new chance to generate 2 threadlings instead of 1. And they're nerfing Tempo Blast. You know, this pisses me off because this is a seasonal mod that we're only going to be able to use for a short time, and I use it on all of my solo ops runs, usually my Ahab Char. And so they're nerfing this a little bit. No longer gains progress on splash damage. Reduce blast damage impulse by 66%. Okay. We'll have to see how that plays out with the new patch. Armor, featured armor expansion. These are the featured exotic armor that's coming. Young Ahamkara's Spine, Frosty's Stronghold, Hazardous Propulsion, Chromatic Fire, Controversed Hold. Yes, I love using that. Titan, the exotic Stronghold arms are going to get nerfed a little bit here. Blocking larger amounts of incoming fire, games stack at a slower rate. Okay, so just know that you might need to test your strongholds to see if they're still good. Critter-Acne's Facade, Woven Mail is active. Will also now return health on defeating an enemy. Relativism, which is one of the spirit of Critter-Acne. During the Woven Mail provided reduces from 10 seconds to 6. That's to bring it in line with the changes they're giving for Woven Mail to the actual Hunter exotic. Chromatic Fire. Detonation radius on precision kinetic final blows increased by 36%. No longer applies keywords based on equipped super. So you can use it on any subclass. Okay, that might make me use it. Non-precision kinetic final blows also produce a detonation. The radius of this detonation is dependent on how many recent elemental final blows the player has achieved. Controverse Hold. Okay, this is the one I want to know about. Charge grenades will now apply weaken. Good. Energy return has been tuned per grenade type. Vortex grenades gains increase slightly, but no longer activate twice. Axiom bolts, handheld supernova, and scatter grenades all receive a moderate increase. Okay. Ability tuning preview. You want to go over this one, Kingsley? I'm going to rest my voice for a second here. The abilities.
I'll go over it pretty quickly.
As quick as you want to go.
Gambler's Dodge. They are changing some things with it on Hunter. I'm sure some people won't be happy, but basically they're rescaling the amount of melee energy that they get from 100% at 70 stat points to 100% at 100 stat points. So, that's a little bit of a change there. Dodging near an enemy, though, doubles this amount. So the point is you need to be closer, and reducing the amount of melee energy generated in PvP, which I'm sure makes sense, but maybe someone will say it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lightweight throwing knives, they're reducing damage versus players by 16%. And then in general, Woven Mail, there was an issue with the Warlock's new Weave Walk behavior. So Woven Mail application no longer resets duration to your original source duration. So it sounds like a fix slash buff.
Yeah.
They are working out the kinks of their new stat system. So stat damage bonuses no longer increase self damage. That's obviously a good thing. We don't want self damage. So that's like a buff. Next, we're making the super stat only stat that buffs your super damage. This is kind of a nerf. Melee and grenade stat damage bonuses will no longer apply to melee and grenade damage done while in the super, but super stat continues to increase melee and grenade damage in super.
Okay.
They say it's more consistent and cleaner. I'm almost more confused, but I kind of get what they're saying. They fixed a technical issue that was causing the class stat to increase only the benefits when you hit a multiple of 10, so that's good. And then finally, a fix for mods and perks that increase player mobility.
Yeah,
that's a good buff
that's
too.
A good change.
They weren't getting the mobility that was intended.
Yep.
So
now I can get that. Now I can get that fast strafe speed back from using athletic mods, because it was actually hurting me in Crucible. So, okay, that is all the changes coming for the sandbox preview tuning for Ashen Iron. What's your takeaway on this?
Not all.
That's
the reason why also they said somewhere like there will be more when the patch notes come out, but these are like the big ones.
Okay.
These are the big ones.
That's usually
kind of the point. Anyways, we can't know all of them.
Yeah.
People are going to forget these anyways. Even more will be announced when the release.
Yeah. What's your when you read this, what was your take on it? What did you see this as a win, loss, or break?
The only thing that I think was a bad move was getting rid of the temporal blast so quickly. Because I don't think nerfs are necessarily bad, but you don't want to do them too quickly always, unless there's some big technical problem. Now, there could be a technical thing, and they need to stand up for themselves more if there's maybe a technical reason why it was causing problems. But I'm going to talk more meta discussion on thoughts once we go over the TWID also. So, but basically, just answer your question on the actual specifics of these nerfs and buffs. I don't really have any major issue other than the temporal blast.
Temporal blast pissed me off, and my heart sank when they started talking about my pulse rifle. So hopefully they don't tin that down too much, because I'm having so much fun with that rifle. It's one of, because I use I use the new gear that
Mint's better anyways.
Mint's
and
good.
They didn't nerf that.
Mint's Mint's good, but
and everyone said they were going to. So this is kind of the funny thing where it's like, they still might, but
well, I use at least the first stat of the TechSec vestment armor, in where the kinetic weapons can break shields. I've been really taking advantage of that tier 1 part of that on my armor setups, and it's just been destroying anything with my pulse rifle's been destroying anything with shields on it. So I just hope, I don't care about the super delivery part, because I don't use supers as much as I should anyway, but I just like sitting there and just tearing everything up with weapons. So, okay, here we go. Let's do the TWAB, I guess, right?
You do the TWAB, I'll do the TWID.
All right. All right, try not to lose my voice. Here we go. This week in Destiny for September 4th, 2025. This week we're getting ready for Ashen Iron. The oven's been burning behind the scenes, and we're excited to show you what we've been cooking. You thought we'd been making an iron pun, didn't you? Nope. We're hosting an incoming stream to talk about the major updates, sharing more details about next week's Portal additions and changes, more details about the upcoming World's First Race, and celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Okay, let's get into it here. Next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, an hour before reset, they are doing a developer live stream again, and they're going to be not only talking about Ashen Iron, but they're also going to be talking about what we can expect from Renegades, which I think this is important, Kingsley, because they need to get some hype going, man. Destiny needs a little hype, at least some kind of something to look forward to going into the latter part of this year, right? Sure.
They did the same thing with what's Edge of Fate,
Yep.
and
Yep.
whether they can get the hype or not, it doesn't matter ahead of time. It matters when the content actually comes out, how good it is.
Right. Well, if you watch for at least 15 minutes on Twitch, you'll get the Knights of the Old emblem as a Twitch drop. It looks pretty good. I'll definitely get it. No doubt I'll tie my account to it and get it done. Okay, here let's get to the bottom line here. Upcoming portal updates. Now, I know they've been talking about a bunch of portal updates. I'm only going to try to talk about the new ones that they've mentioned in this TWAB, because they've been talking about they're going to increase, the drop. They first said we're going to punish solo players, but they took that back. They said they were going to change a bunch of things in Fireteam Ops. They took that back. They said, okay, you're going to have to take your prime engrams to the tower to decrypt them. Well, now you have an option where you don't have to do that. So they walked back a lot of this stuff, but they are changing things in Desert Perpetual. They're going to have improved gear drop tier drops, and you're going to have gear attunement that's being added. Increase the chance of earning prime engrams on activity completed in Crucible. Increased bonus focus drop rates from 25 to 66% in the Crucible. So there's the key. They want you to play Crucible. Trials rewards. They are tweaking that a bit as well. Trials. Okay. Well, they're removing some mods from match-made portal experiences, but they're creating more consistent power reward experience for the upper power climb. So from 500 to 550 power, if you earn an A or A+ grade, you'll get a +1 power on your activity completion rewards. This change will also be in effect for A grades in the 4 to 450 power range when Renegades launches. But note that with the launch of Ashen Iron, the power climb from 400 to 500 will be naturally accelerated by the power cap increasing to 550. So business as usual. If you're at 400 like I am right now, 403, you don't have to worry about prime drops. You'll start getting, the way you've been progressing all the way up to 400, you'll continue to do that all the way to 500 now. So, which is the reason why I didn't bother going any further than 400. The 403 is just from perimeter stuff that I got that gave me some more power. We're improving Fireteam Ops rewards. They talked about that already, but here's the new stuff. They're reducing gameplay penalties when running out of time in Grandmaster difficulty in the portal. The GM difficulty portal activities will no longer zero out revives when you hit the time limit. This irritated the hell out of me. I would have, 9 revives, and then as soon as that stupid timer went away, they said, you don't need them. Now if you die, you go back to orbit. I'm like, you got to be
Hasn't it
kidding.
always been like that? I don't know why they're changing that.
No, that was stupid. I earned those revives. I killed all those champions to get those revives. Let me keep them. So, but they did.
Well, Lost Sectors are like that. When you run out of time, you don't get any more revives. I thought the GMs were too.
No. Yeah, they did that in I think they did in Master Lost Sectors. I think Legendary Lost Sectors, I think you were okay still. You just couldn't get any more. But they did say this. Revives will still zero out for GM Conquest. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Another new thing they did make, and this was important, they're going to make tier 5 rewards easier to earn in the portal. So from 450 power onwards, that's platinum or diamond reward packages, earn a score of 1.25 or 1.25 million or more to guarantee tier 5 drops from your activity completion rewards. So remember we talked, I think it was one of our topics of the week a couple shows ago, how I think it was Jixer Clyde was talking to some of his buddies that had reached 450 and was like, okay, man, you're reigning tier 5s, right? You're getting tier 5 drops like all the time. They're like, no, we're not getting them all the time. I'm like, wait a minute, you bust your butt to get to pinnacle power and you're not getting automatic tier 5s. You should be getting automatic tier 5s because you did the work to get to that level. So now what they're saying is, okay, if you're at the 450 plus power climb and you can reach 1.25 million on your score, and you'll have to adjust, your activity modifiers to do that. And it'll show you what you can potentially make, when you set it up before the portal. I don't have to tell you guys that. You guys have played enough of it. that you will get guaranteed tier 5 stuff. So,
And guess what the next complaint will then be naturally after that?
what do you think?
Give it to us for free without having to get a high score.
I'm telling you, the portal for me is a total win for Bungie, but there's 2 problems with it. One, once you make that climb to pinnacle power, you're not getting rewarded like they told you would. They kind of twisted things a little bit.
But that's being fixed now. Yeah.
That's being fixed. And the second thing is what was the other thing? Choose my mind. The other thing was, well, here's the thing that I hate. As you get more powerful, this is really odd because as you get more powerful and you're playing these activities, you keep making them harder and harder with all these modifiers you have to put on them. It seems like as the more powerful I get, the weaker I feel. Shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't you feel more powerful when you've reached this power level? And then it's just a matter
a lot of games do it like that. If you don't have to do the harder level activities. Once you get more powerful, you can do the mid-level activities and then feel powerful.
Well, the other thing I meant, the second thing, which now came back to my mind, Portal needs more stuff, man. I mean, this stuff that they're adding in Ash and Iron, they better not be taking away anything. I'm really curious to see what numbers of stuff. The Portal should be getting bigger every season. The longer you play it, or the longer you wait to jump in, you should have more and more activities to play.
Now, wait a second. Think down the road, though. Are you sure you want that? If they keep making it bigger and bigger all the time,
I want every strike. I want to play every strike.
The list gets really long, so it looks messy.
Have a drop menu. Have a drop-down menu. Well, how hard is that? It's a new UI feature.
It is hard in this game, actually. You can't do drop-downs with the engine. But the second issue is if they keep adding everything to the portal, they won't have enough time to test all the things when every new season comes up. So with the amount of employees they have, it's just not practical.
This has been the biggest disappointment for me because the portal, like I said, I think is a win. I'm hooked. I love the portal system. It's a win for me. I can play the games the way I want to play them, but there's just not enough selection, man. I know these solo activities backwards and forwards now.
I said that like a year ago. I knew that was going to be an issue.
Well, as long as they keep adding stuff.
Having less employees and less content.
I understand, but they need to keep adding more like a library. They just need to keep adding more stuff to this portal system. If that's the way they want us to play it, because otherwise they've basically sunset almost all of the game. If you don't play Portal, really, you're not getting any tiered loot. You're not getting any benefits. So
you gotta realize that's how it is now, unfortunately. Do you really honestly think they would have enough time if they keep adding all the activities back in so we get everything? Do you really think they would have enough time to test every activity with the new mod changes? No, because they haven't even been able to do that in the past when they had more employees, and now they have less employees. So
don't worry, Tajo. I'll make the correction. TechSec armor has to be kinetic damage, not kinetic slot. So if you have a stasis weapon, it doesn't count. Thank you for reminding me about that, Tajo.
I don't know if you're going to add that into the TWID.
No, I'm just going to add it now. But yeah,
not the TWID,
the sandbox tuning. Yeah, the TechSec armor is very good for solo ops. I think it's got some really good benefits compared to everything else out there. Okay, let's move on. Rewards, new weapons, armor, set bonuses. They mentioned in the preview, the sandbox preview, the Mida mini tool, the Drang, and the Haliatus, which is a high impact rocket launcher strand, is being added in the shared pool. In trials, they're bringing the Burden of Guilt, the adaptive fusion rifle, which is stasis, and ever burning Glitz, a rapid fire auto rifle kinetic. That sounds fun. Iron Banner, I'm really pissed. Finite impactor, an adaptive hand cannon, solar hand cannon. No. I want more weapons in Iron Banner. I don't care about hand cannons. You need to give us more variety of new weapons coming to Iron Banner. One freaking hand cannon. I'm disappointed, Bungie. I'm disappointed. Pinnacle Ops.
It's all about you. I bet a lot of people are happy about this, actually.
Pinnacle Ops. Forced Memorializer, precision scout rifle kinetic, and the Seraphine Haze, an aggressive submachine gun. You mentioned they were trying to buff those a little bit. Stasis. So Solo Ops, Fireteam Ops, redacted. Crucible Ops, redacted. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. The armor and set bonuses. Set bonuses, Despairing Souls set. I love the names of this stuff. The 2-piece gives you Ride Together, Die Together. When you pick up an orb of power, gain a brief period of rapidly decaying damage reduction. I like that. You can put up an orb generation machine and have all kinds of good damage reduction. 4 pieces of it, I mean, it's labeled too old for this. Defeating a powerful combatant with a finisher grants you special ammo progress and but replenishes a small amount of health. Okay. I already have, finishers, weapon mods I can use to get an overshield when I do a finisher, but now I'll get a little bit of health and my special ammo progress will go forward. Okay. I'm okay with that. Redacted Crucible Ops, Redacted Iron Banner, and Redacted Raid. So we got 3 new things of armor that I am excited about. Iron Banner always has fantastic looking sets, so we'll see what they're bringing out in Ashen Iron. New Pinnacle Ops. They're going to be bringing these dungeon layers in. Only 3 of them, so keep your pants on. Pit of Heresy, Beneath the Necropolis, Duality, The Nightmare of Galron, and Warlord's Ruin, Helfin's Vengeance. They also mentioned there's a little bit more here that they're adding. For 2 weeks, starting in Ashen Iron 9.9 to 9.23, we're making all 3 of the original dungeons available to all players. Once this period ends, the dungeon layers for Pit of Heresy, Duality, and Warlord's Ruin will remain freely available in the portal. These are the activities, not the full dungeons, guys. If you prefer to farm dungeon-specific loot to fill out your location in the portal, you can customize dungeon layer activities and toggle the new boon modifier, Classic Collector. This modifier will ensure that legacy dungeon rewards will drop in addition to portal rewards. These will be available to all players during the first 2 weeks, but then it's back to the dungeon keys if you want to earn more. So keep that in mind. Ashen Iron launch. A few more extra things here. Fire team power will no longer adjust your score when below 300s. This means when playing with friends who are lower power than you will improve your rewards. So it'll encourage you to play with people who are trying to power up. That's good news. A discard action has been added to portal engrams when in the Postmaster, allowing quicker dismantles if desired. I like that. It's a good quality of life there. Renegade launch. This is, into the future here. When Renegades launches, all legendary gear from the season Reclamation, Edge of Fate, and Ash of Iron will be included as part of the season Lawless featured gear. So remember, we were just complaining about featured gear going away when the next update comes. Destiny's.
Well, we didn't know when it was going away. It wasn't the next update. We were assuming the next DLC, which is Renegades, but now they're answering for sure that it's not going away.
It's not going away. So that TechSec armor I just talked about, still be able to use it in season Lawless when.
Now the question is, what do you think will happen? Will it always be a rotating year, or do you think the second half Renegade stuff will go away when the next year starts?
It'll be
like 6 months later.
Yeah. The one after Renegades will reset. I just know that's
everything,
just the way.
Even the Renegade stuff.
Bungie always does that. Renegade stuff. Yeah. Good question. I think it'll reset.
That's sad because then Renegades we get less time with that stuff than we do with the Edge of Fate stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So it would almost be better. This is almost worse to me in a way. It would almost be better if they did it every 6 months.
If they reset.
Or if it was a rotating year where like Renegades didn't go away until 6 months after the next year.
Yeah. The new gear bonus will be changing for the season Lawless artifact. Starting in season Lawless, the new gear bonus will be a flat bonus for all featured gear. It will no longer be tiered as it is currently in season Reclamation. Will be a max 5% damage for weapons and a max 10% damage resistance for armor. Okay, whatever. I've got a bunch of damage resistance stuff built into my Warlock anyway to make them survivable, so I'm okay with that. All right, it's funny.
I'm a little sad on that. I don't know how I feel, and I don't even have tier 5 stuff really. I have 1 or 2 because I don't really care, but it's just kind of funny how like pretty soon there's going to be less and less benefits for higher tier stuff. It's not like the regular perk things are changing.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I don't know, they're kind of vanillaing things down. So,
I mean, if it makes it simpler to release more content, I'm all for it. So we'll just have to see how that. Instead of
They're not doing that 'cause of
assigning
that.
certain amounts, I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, the Epic Raid update, the release
This is
date,
huge.
world first streaming. You want to go into this? You want to read this part?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. So first of all, the raid is being delayed by a week, and they haven't given people a lot of notice. I have a feeling the reason why they had to push it back was because of two things, because of some changes, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, so they give people a little bit more time to plan, and also because of just technical reasons. It's probably smart to push it back a week, but the problem is a lot of people plan these things in advance. Now, I know there was one person that wasn't going to be available because of I forget which streamer I was watching. They were going to be out of town for someone's wedding or something.
Oh,
Maybe they can actually make this now with the getting
maybe.
pushed back, but I would imagine most people don't like the idea. They got to frantically check their schedules now and make sure, okay, it's being pushed back.
Right.
But that's not it. They are really making extreme new rules on how this is going to take place because of all the issues with the last one with the people cheating. So as some people were speculating, I was too, guess what? Streaming is now required, but only one member of the 6 team
That's fine.
members has to stream.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be everyone, but at least one person has to stream.
Right.
The stream has to be on YouTube or Twitch. That may seem obvious, but there's Facebook, there's TikTok, so it has to be on YouTube or Twitch.
Right.
The stream must be set to video on demand so people can watch after the fact too. Also, here's a huge one. If a team member wants to hide portions of their screen, they can only do so by using an overlay provided by Bungie, and they cannot use any additional overlay to block other portions of the screen, even as a joke. I love how they said this because so many times people be like, "Oh, I was just joking." No,
I'm doing what Dado did. Yeah, no, can't do that.
People don't use that excuse. I was just joking around. This is actually something
they'll take it seriously. If you want to be in contention, it could disqualify you.
Yeah. So, anyways, just read over all these rules if you care. I mean, also the team member who streams cannot black out or hide their screen or portions of their screen outside the provided overlay.
Got to use those overlays.
Also,
Yep.
And game audio must be on at all times, but players may mute their voice audio. I mean, that makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
All this is fair. I think some people might be a little upset, but they hit a good. If they had said like everyone had to stream, that'd be one thing. But the fact that only one person has to stream, I think this sounds great. I'm curious what everyone in the community thinks.
Yep.
If someone's against this, but hey, a lot of other games were already doing this for their like competitive things. And if you want to actually win a competition, be in that race. Now, you don't have to do this just to get the contest mode clear, but if you want to be in the actual race for world's first, you have to stream. Now, once you find out you didn't get world's first,
maybe you can shut
off your stream if you want, because you didn't get it. But
I mentioned this, Kingsley, about a month ago when they talked about all the cheaters. I said, hey, just make sure one person streams it. That's all you got to do. Full disclosure, right?
I was good with that too. There's some people that didn't like the idea because it sets some teams that don't have a good setup for streaming behind a little bit. You may be like, well, can anyone do that? Sure. But like, there's some people that just don't care, that haven't looked into it. So now they're scrambling to figure out how to stream within the next couple of weeks so that they can get that going.
I mean, come on, man. These are usually PC players who already know how to use a PC. If they're skilled enough,
mean you know how to stream.
I know.
There was teams that won that did it totally in the dark. That they are not streamers. They don't care about being streamers. And
I know.
So even though PCs can stream quote easily, as well as anyone else that it can be complicated figuring all the OBS stuff and
on the YouTube.
They're scrambling to figure this out.
They'll figure it out.
If there's a technical problem that comes up in the middle of the stream, and imagine if that messes someone up and then Bungie disqualifies them, they're going to be pissed.
Well, I mean, I imagine 1 out of 6 guys knows how to stream if you're at high level content player in Destiny 2. I'm sure even then you would say, well, Joe, you're the streamer, man. So go to YouTube University and let's figure out how to do it. Download OBS. It's free. Streaming is free, guys. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to stream. You just have to know how to use the software.
No one was worried about that. but it can be a little confusing on
Yeah.
PC too. So definitely
Okay.
start testing out early if you're going to be going for world's first, and test out often.
Yep.
And this should be obvious. It's not like anyone's going to be listening to us that are probably going to be streaming world's first, but in case you are, also don't be doing other things on your PC while you're streaming. Don't have other
Okay.
apps open. Close everything other than OBS or whatever you're using and Destiny. Have everything else closed.
Yep.
You never
You don't
know
want your PC
what if a
crashing.
Firefox window pops, or a internet, a Edge window pops up in the middle of the game or something. Those things can happen.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't disqualify you, it can cause technical issues and mess up your streams.
Plus,
So,
if you're playing on PC, the game at a high level, high graphical, definition, it's going to be working your video card already. So, yeah. I mean, unless you got like a 3090,
I'm thinking more
3080.
just other technical issues.
Sure. It's not that hard to do, but, and if you're,
video,
if you're on console, all you have to do is press one button and you're streaming. It's not hard to do. So, but PC, I understand.
You also have to have a good internet connection that a lot of people don't realize.
You do.
They can play Destiny and think the world is fine,
right.
But then they start streaming. They're like, "Oh, my internet actually sucks."
Just make sure, just for you streamer people out there who don't know how to stream, 6,000. Just keep it at 6,000. You can even go to 4,000 depending on how strong your signal is. But I'm streaming right now at 6,000 because Twitch caps me at 6,000. It's unstable if I go higher. I can stream at 50,000 because I have high powered fiber optic up and down, so symmetric. So, but the Twitch can't handle that kind of bandwidth, so you have to keep it around 4,000 to 6,000.
And it doesn't need to. I'm glad they do that because I'm watching our Twitch stream right now. It looks perfectly clear. And
it's fine. It's 1080.
So,
it's 1080. It's all it needs to do. Okay, a few things to finish up here. Destiny 2 Update 9.10 patch preview. These are just some extra little things they wanted to mention. Shooting range now features customizable difficulty from the portal, including access to the most of the same modifiers available for a given day. That way you can real live test your damage under all those portal settings. Updated portal scoring and grade info in the post-game Carnage report screen. Banshee will once again offer the quest to acquire the catalyst for Tommy's matchbook. Lobby balancing and trials will be disabled. Fix an issue in Duality Dungeon, preventing players from being teleported to the Nightmare Realm when playing on Master difficulty. Trials special ammo meter has been increased. They'll talk about that next week. Updated selectable modifier saving when repeating activities to only save and reapply modifiers that the user selected. That's good. I like that. Very good. Mythos Swims, what's up, man? Good deal. Good to see you, brother. Edge of Fate, the voice acting has been updated. So now the original voices for Ikora, Orin, and Chioma now have the original voice actors. And they're also going to be having it dubbed in, translated into some other languages as well. Let's see what it say. What other languages? It probably didn't matter, but anyway, French and Spanish. Voice actors are in the process of recording their lines, which we'll expect to ship out with Renegades later this year. Okay, Humble Bundle's got a great deal right now. If you're not a major Destiny player and you're thinking about jumping in and playing, you can get the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection, which includes the Final Shape, Lightfall, Witch Queen, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Forsaken Pack, 30th Anniversary Pack, Pit of Heresy Dungeon, Shattered Throne Dungeon, and Grasp of Avarice Dungeon. Humble Bundle is offering a 30% off coupon that is good until October 7th. Now until October 7th. So, definitely jump on that. If you're really wanting to get all the content for Destiny 2, now's the time, man. It's already $40, 40, 70, something like that for all of this content. You've got hundreds of hours of content right there, guys. If you're wanting to jump in and play Destiny 2, now's the time to do it. Those are all fantastic. Me and Kingsley have played every bit of all that. And it's all very fun. Okay, most of it is.
Shadowkeep, Lightfall.
Okay, most of it is. Moon was okay.
You always talk stuff up. So
I know, I'm the shill. I know, I'm the shill.
I'm not saying it's not worth it. No, that is a good pack, but I'm definitely saying it's not all great content.
Let's just say it's a lot less than what we paid for it all along. So keep that in mind. Celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. If you donate to the Latin at Bungie Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Association, if you give a $10 donation, there is a really nice, very colorful emblem.
I love this. Yep.
It's very nice. I'm probably gonna do that. I like emblems. A $10 donation to El Centro de la Raza through the Bungie Foundation campaign will earn the Revivir emblem for Destiny 2. And that's through the end of the month, September 30th. All proceeds will go to the El Centro de la Raza. No, El Centro de la Raza. There we go. A little bit better. Minus Tiltify and payment processing fees. Tiltify's got to get their money. Bungie Rewards, the heavy metal title pin is now available. And player support report. I know we always say shit's broken, but there's a couple things I want to mention here. When Ash and Iron launches next week, seasonal challenges will be refreshed. Players should claim any complete challenges they have before the game goes down for maintenance on Tuesday. That means Monday night, guys. Don't wait till Tuesday morning. You'll get caught. We
have mentioned that before.
Yep, we've mentioned it. Upcoming issue with this displayed gear power. This was kind of important. Due to an issue in the new patch, some gear may display at a different number instead of their power. When this happens, the item's displayed power will match a stat on the item, and it can't be updated with Infusion. This is purely a visual cue, and the item's actual power will not be affected. Your access to content difficulty when facing combatants and rewards will not be impacted. The cause of this issue has been identified. We're working on a fix in an upcoming update. And the other stuff is shit's broken. Nice art here. Terrarium. Actually, Destiny Terrarium, which I'm into terrariums. I make terrariums myself. Really nice. We've got another movie of the week called Man with a Plan. Check that out. It's been a shorter week than usual due to the Labor Day in the U.S., so try to wrangle all the teams together for this TWID has made it come to an extremely has made it come in extremely hot event. Even so, we wanted to give you as much information we can about next week's release and what's ahead. There's going to be a lot happening, and more is on the way. Thanks for being on this journey with us. We hope you're excited to be in Ironclad while kicking Ash in the Plague Lands. See what you did there. Thank you, Cosmo. I see your little pic that you post. What is it? It's kitty pic, cat pic. Okay. Thank you, Cosmo. We know that's you. No, even though we can't say it's you. Thank you, Dest 2 community team, for communicating with us every month. All right, Kingsley, I'm going to take a short bathroom break here. And when we get back, it is our topic of the week. I cannot wait to talk about this.
Wait, Ron, I'm still talking about something.
Sorry, I'll edit that out.
Now or after?
I'll edit that out. There's one thing that, there's one thing, Kingsley, you wanted to mention here. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you told me to remember. You even told me ahead of time, and I'm in auto mode now. You had something you wanted to say. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so this has been on my mind for a couple of weeks, and this is the best time to talk about it after the Sandbox update, the TWID. We had our roundtable episode last week, but this loops back to the big hubbub a couple weeks ago with everyone being upset with the changes and stuff with Portal and stuff. And I think people are not really looking at the big picture very well. We have huge power creep in Destiny 2 right now. You may see like, so what? But like, I was going back to playing Destiny 1, and I noticed that me and Max, and compared to what Destiny 2 is right now, the problem with power creep is if you never nerf or bring things down, it can run into technical problems where you have to just keep moving things up only.
Yeah.
And notice how GM stuff is seeming easier now. Mm-hmm. Now they're making an ultimatum level. What are they going to come up with next? Ultimatum starts getting easy. Another level. Pretty soon we're going to be like zipping around so fast in the game, having abilities all the time, and we're going to be getting used to all these things, and we're never going to want nerfs. People now nerfs, I'm talking about 2 points. There, of course, was the big problems with the amount of rewards, and we don't need to rehash that stuff, but I'm always big about like power per hour, make it even. And you can't only just buff things. Sometimes you have to nerf things too. But then this came up again because of the Sandbox article a few days ago. And it seemed like people were pretty upset about that one too. And it makes sense to talk about specific points, but people really aren't seeing the tree through the forest, because I went through with a fine-tooth comb, and there are 27 nerfs in that sandbox article.
Hmm.
Well, guess how many buffs there were?
Not 27.
35.
What?
35 more buffs than nerfs.
Really?
And everyone's like, they're nerfing everything in the whole world, like.
Wow.
Now, I get it, people. If there's something that you really don't like, you're going to focus on that. But let's be fair here, people. They can't just only buff things most of the time. They have to nerf things sometimes too.
I get that.
And I know it's always hard when you give something to someone, you don't want to take it away from them. But I promise people, try to think about the big picture. I'm not saying that all the nerfs are correct that they did,
Yeah.
but nerfs need to happen in a game too. And I'm worried the community is in this state right now where it's like, Bungie, you're nerfed. Don't listen. You got to listen to us and change everything back. Change everything back. No, we can't get in that state. It's going to be a very dangerous state if we feel like we can't nerf things in the game.
Yeah,
Any comments on that?
Yeah, I get your point on that, man. And another thing too is Bungie has things that they're trying to do as the game lasts longer and longer and longer, is they kind of have to top themselves every year, and now they have to make if they don't make an exotic next season that blows away any of the exotics we use in the past, then we're like, that I'm not going to worry about that exotic. That sucks. So I mean, it's the fact that Bungie is always on that treadmill of topping themselves. Maybe the over delivery comes in here. I don't know. But
Well, and yet another reason why things just need to be taken away or a new game at some point.
yeah, it's funny you should say.
Always top stuff. You can't always top stuff.
I get
forever.
that.
Yeah.
I get that, man. I do.
Or you have to nerf stuff pretty bad too. Top stuff,
I didn't realize there were 35 buffs. I thought there were mainly nerfs because, well,
and I didn't even include the Drang and the or the Midas stuff. If I did, that would have added like 20 more buffs to the list.
Okay. So, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. I don't know.
No, it's okay to have opinions on like, I really didn't like, I even said I didn't like the nerf they did on the Temporal Blast.
Right.
But I really feel like people are starting, not everyone, but some people are really starting to just get this like hive mentality of like, they're nerfing everything, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. And they do need to nerf things from time to time too.
Well, maybe that's the way they have this featured gear set up. Maybe that's their way of getting people to move on to the newer stuff. Hazel always talked about this. He goes, man, if you don't sunset weapons, then why are you playing? Why do you even care about getting the next gun if it's, if you've already got 10 of the same kind of gun? I get that part. I do. But you have to motivate us to get that new gun. It has to be different. It has to be better than what we already have.
And everyone has different motivations too. So that's so hard.
That's true.
It's like such an impossible task.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I think that's my way of looking at it is the fact that Bungie has to always top themselves because their game is 11 years old now. And the fact that they're always topping themselves means that stuff gets a little crazier. But that's nothing compared to what game I've heard that's Destiny related this week, where they're going freaking butt wild crazy on overpowered stuff. So we'll get into that part. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point. It's a good point, man. I just, how do you, it's a delicate process because people don't want their stuff taken away. The reason I hoard so much in my vault is because it's kind of like a time capsule. I still have pulse rifles from seasons long, years and years ago that I still keep because they just bring back so many great memories. I mean, I have weapons from the Forsaken expansion that I still keep in my vault. And even though I know that they probably aren't as good as they used to be, I just have so many memories with a lot of these weapons. And that's another thing too. Our weapon arsenal continues to grow, which means it's a moving target. There's more things you got to worry about. There's more facets of this game that you have to keep an eye on that don't get overpowered. And the ones that usually do get overpowered, Bungie usually slams the hammer down on them and people get all disgruntled. So, yeah.
And also it's really hard because so many people are emotional people. And I'm emotional when it comes to like entertainment, watching movies, interacting with people. But when I'm like playing a video game and stuff, I'm so logical, and it makes me not care about stuff. Where when I look at nerfs, I can truly look at it, even if it's a weapon I enjoy or a subclass I enjoy,
Yeah.
and I can be like, even though I loved using that, it made sense to nerf. Other people would, most emotional people would look at it and be like, no, no, they're nerfing it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like weapons in the PvP. Like it might be easy for you to say nerf
Yeah.
shotguns, but it might be hard for you to say to nerf pulse rifles. And that's more of an emotional thing, I think, than a
You want to,
logical thing,
yeah, you
you
want to
know.
use what you want to use. You want to use the guns that you're comfortable
But
using.
I employ people to look at the big picture and try to look at it logically. Like, even though you like something like a weapon, like an ability,
Hmm.
say like, if I didn't like this, does it make sense on paper that it's being nerfed? That's the best way to logically answer the question.
Yeah.
Try to take your emotions out of it. See, I don't think the temporal blast thing makes sense. But so many of the other things, even when they have like nerfed warlock stuff in the past or weapons, most of the time I'm like, it kind of makes sense. I mean, sure, it's going to suck a little bit, but I look at the big picture. I'm like, it kind of makes sense. I'm not saying Bungie can. They're. I do also think they're making more worse decisions these days than they have in the
Oh,
past. So
my
again, not all
Lord.
nerfs and not all buffs are the right decision. Uh, but it's a interesting thing I wanted to bring up.
Bungie, read the room. Read the room. Yeah. All I know is they need to bring back inaugural address and now. Okay. I'll leave it alone. All right. Let's
Everyone has
get
different opinions. I love it though. I
I
love it.
still got my inaugural address with 14,000 kills on it. They need to just bring that whole raid back. Anyway. All right. Let's move on to our topic of the week. I'm looking forward to this one. We'll be right back. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to mention Twitch TV Sean. Thank you for that Prime sub, brother. Anything that's gifted or any subscriptions that are in the Twitch channel goes right back to our community. I don't profit personally from any of this stuff. This goes right back into our community fund. So thank you for that, brother. Appreciate you giving towards the cause here and helping our community out, man. We appreciate that. Thank you for that Prime sub, sir. And I believe also that just giving some shout outs here. Also, Vanilla Gorilla, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate that. Okay, let's get on with our topic of the week. And I'll introduce it and then I'll just pass it to you, Kingsley. Sound good? And then I have a lot to add. Okay. I need to rest my voice anyway. I'll save it for questions
Did
for
you
the
want
show.
to take that break, bathroom break, or?
I think I'm okay.
I'm good, but if you're,
I think
good
I'm
either way.
okay. I think I'm okay.
All right.
I'm not having to go to the bathroom, so I'm good. All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, for our topic of the week, everybody, if you looked at the Destiny numbers this week, they've dipped quite low. Not low, dangerously low, but they're definitely lower than what we're normally used to seeing. And I think there's a reason for that. There's this little game that came out. I don't know if anybody heard about it, called Destiny Rising. And Kingsley's going to explain a lot of things tonight that he sees in the game that Bungie needs to add into their game. But I'm going to let Kingsley run with this. I'm going to give him the talking stick. And then later on, I'm going to have some stuff that I'm going to add that I think that I saw in the game as well. So Kingsley?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not quite convinced that the numbers were dipping just because of Destiny Rising. They've been dipping anyways.
Of course.
But,
no doubt. No doubt.
When you look at it this week, it was a little bit more of a dip than the previous weeks, but I don't know if that's totally because of Destiny Rising. But
okay.
So I don't want to say, because there's plenty of people that haven't played Destiny Rising in our community. But Destiny Rising, it was a brilliant launch, an excellent launch. Basically, no bugs, millions of people trying it out. And the reception is really positive for everyone who's tried it.
It has been.
I've tried it. I loaded it on an emulator on my PC, which really isn't that bad. And I'm going to have a couple tips here.
Okay.
Basically, there's different ways you can do it. But if you run on PC, just if you go to the Play Destiny Rising, they kind of give you instructions. Timu makes not Timu,
Mimu?
what's the name? NetEase. Well, I was going to, NetEase, the company, makes Mimu player.
Mimu.
A lot of people were doing BlueStacks, but Mimu, I think it's Mumu, M-U-M-U. It's more optimized for Destiny Rising than BlueStacks is. So I'd recommend going that route if you're on PC and want to try it out. It works perfectly with controller and or mouse and keyboard if you prefer that. And it's just an easy way to load the game and have it play it on PC. It's kind of funny that they're even promoting that on their site because
Yeah.
if you step back, I kind of, obviously there was some reason why Bungie or NetEase and people decided this would be a mobile only game because they didn't want to or couldn't make a PC game. Probably more of the Bungie didn't want it made as a PC game. They only wanted it made as a mobile game. Plus, NetEase specializes in that. However, they also specialize in telling people how you can run it on your PC pretty well through these emulators. And I was pretty impressed. In fact, you can even run it on Mac. It worked pretty well on my Mac too. There's an app called Play something.
Is it the Play Store? You have to buy it through the Play Store, right?
No. There's no such thing as a Play Store on Mac. It's called Play Cover, and it's a way that you can hack iPad apps onto your computer if you have a Mac computer. The problem with iOS and iPad apps is if they don't market it as something you can download on your Mac, you can't. But there's a way to get around that with this hacky thing called Play Cover. So it's basically an emulator.
Okay.
It worked pretty well on both, but my PC is still better for gaming, so I did it over there mostly. Anyways, this game is pretty smooth with the gunplay. It feels like Destiny. Especially when you're watching people stream it and when you play it on PC, it is way closer than I thought it would be. Sure, there's still some movement things that seem a little janky, but there's a lot of movement things that actually seem better too. I'll get to that in a second. But with the game, but boy, it is a brilliant game. You have a huge campaign of just different story missions you can do. You have tons of side quests you can do. They already added in kind of this light raid that the streamers have been checking out and doing. And most of the missions are pretty short little things you can do, which makes sense, especially if you're on about a mobile. But even when you're playing on your computer, they're like these little bite-sized things. Think of these little missions as something between a solo op, but less than like a fire team op or something like that. But like really fun new content, tons of new stuff.
Okay.
Now, what this gets me thinking is I'm kind of mad because it makes sense why we don't have all these things. I'll get to that discussion at the end if you have different opinions. But I was hearing different streamers, and you may have some things to add too, but there's all these things that are added in the game. And we knew this was kind of come to this point because it's easy if like the game sucks and no one that plays it likes it. But most people that have played it do like it. I like it. It's not like it's going to be taking much of my time, but here's a list of things that they added that we do not have in Destiny 2.
Big list.
They have a ping system, which is nice. A lot of games have a ping system.
Well, it's like a ping system. Like if you're trying to show someone where to go in a raid, you could just ping that area, right?
No. I meant like your ping, like your internet health. They have that too.
Okay. So you can't ping. You can't put a pin cushion.
Oh, maybe you can, but I don't know. But what I'm talking about
actually shows your signal. That's big. Battlefield does that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you may think that's more of a PvP thing. Well, they do have some PvP in there, but it's even good for PvE because if you're getting disconnects or things, if you had a ping system ahead of time, you kind of can get a health of your internet to know how it's going.
Instead of getting Destiny servers like every few seconds. Mm-hmm. Doesn't tell you anything.
They have SRL for all of us that keep asking Bungie to bring SRL back to Destiny. That's one thing they actually probably could do without breaking the whole game. I don't know why they haven't, but they have that in Destiny Rising. Cool. They have clan housing where you have a clan and you can build up your whole area how you want with like different looks and feels, and it's like a hangout area. You can be hanging out there with, instead of just going to the tower and everyone sees the same tower a million times over, you actually have your own little private area where you can customize how your clan housing looks.
And also, just to add to that, Kingsley, your clanmates can upgrade it. I mean, that's fascinating. And people are like, well, why should we care about housing? Because it's something that brings your clan together to do stuff together. Right now, we can get engrams and stuff through our clans, but that's about it. it'd be nice to, I don't know, Kilvin come and add some solar panels on this side of the clan housing, kind of spruce it up a little bit. Maybe I'll give us more light over here or something. I don't know how detailed it gets, but it's upgradable through clan members. That brings people together, man. Go ahead.
You know how it also brings people together? Another clan system that they have is if someone in your clan is online at the same time as you, and even if you didn't talk about it ahead of time, if you go into like a match-made activity at the same time,
that's amazing.
It'll put you together first.
That's amazing.
Rather than just randos.
That is fantastic.
The way Destiny 2 does it is it does it based on location,
geographic areas,
people first, which kind of makes sense, but I think clans should be prioritized over that, and this does that now in Destiny Rising.
That when I heard about that, I was like, wow, that I don't know what kind of technology they have built into there, but man, that is fantastic. Just awesome. That's awesome.
It has fishing, way better fishing than the fishing that was built into Destiny 2 several seasons back.
I saw some of it.
With all sorts of things you can collect and little mini games you can play. Triumphs and bounties and collectibles just for the fishing part. It has a roguelike card game also where you can like battle against people. So again, you're done doing the activities in the game. You can play little card battle games in the game that are unlimited, and it can give you tons of great actually loot. If you win your card battle game, it gives you like some of the highest level.
You get some mythic gear, I heard.
Materials and mythic stuff. And
I heard you can play NPCs or you can play other players. And from what I've heard, it's actually not a bad card game. I've just recently gotten into card games, and they're a lot of fun.
They said there's real good. It's a real fun card game.
That's awesome.
Other games have had card games in it, like the Star Wars Outlaws game has a really fun card game in it that I like playing.
Okay.
It has a true roguelike mode, where Destiny keeps claiming they're going to have a roguelike mode, but they actually built it into Destiny Rising. It has dual wielding weapons. It has mythic rarity to weapons, so an additional tier. So like we have legendary and then exotic. Well, there's legendary, mythic, then exotic. A lot of games have that too. Like I'm playing, the Division 2 and other games, and they have additional tiers. Borderlands has additional tiers too that Destiny doesn't even have.
Right.
It has a way, way, way better new player onboarding experience.
That I heard about.
Destiny does.
That is fantastic.
I saw how good this is. So like when they talk about, they're teaching you about champions and how to stun them. What it does is when you first learn about it, and you can skip through it if you really need to, but it takes you into a separate little instance. It almost looks like a little firing range as a champion in front of you. It first makes you use a weapon that's not as good to take down the champion, so it can teach you why that's not as good. You're taking it down, and that stuns the champion. You're like, okay, whatever. And then the game's like, now it's gonna say, now try this weapon, and it puts it in your hands. And then you see that you can take down the champion better. So you actually learn right then and there what weapons are better to deal with certain champions. Can you imagine if that was in Destiny 2?
It's just fantastic. I mean, just basic mechanics. I mean, other than here's a 5-minute video, watch it, and then we'll try to highlight some stuff for you. And people are like, what does that mean? What's this highlighted square supposed to mean? I'm supposed to read it here. Okay, does this? I don't understand what that term means. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
I have a few more things, but there's a lot of things there, as you can see.
Oh, I got a lot
to add. It has so much info about weapons. Like when you go in, it tells you all the trait info, and it has weapon reviews in game. So you can see what all the traits mean without having to go to like Armory or DIM or D2 Armor Picker, all these things. And you can see reviews right there on what you want to do. If certain traits are good, if certain weapons are highly, reviewed by people. It has Gambit that is 1000% better than the Gambit we have in Destiny 2.
Oh, I heard about this.
It has a Gambit. Think of like 3 of our Gambit arenas built together. It has a Gambit where you go to one arena and then another arena and then another arena, and then it all comes back, and the way people invade is so much better. I didn't write down all the details on this one, but people were super impressed. They say it's really fun. It's like a way, way, way better Gambit than what we have in Destiny. And last for my list, but not least, and you may have stuff to add. This is just a fun little one, but animated emblems. Why not, right? That's fun. So your emblems that you have and stuff.
Something I've been crying out for
They can
forever.
actually move and animate and stuff. So
I've been crying for, I mean, come on, man. I came from Call of Duty. I mean, you have emblems on top of emblems. You got crazy flashing emblems all over the place. And, dude, you'd be surprised what us gamers will do for a fancy emblem that we can show off to our friends when we group up for the night. Coach Weed, I just want to mention, he said the game reminds him of Gwent from The Witcher. Hey, be careful to say the word Gwent or you'll attract Admiral Nips.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, Gwent's. I've heard good things about Gwent. I don't play the Witcher games, but I know Admiral Nips plays a ton of Gwent. I heard, this is how crazy I heard about this new Gambit. It's 3v3v3. It's like 6 teams of 3 that play against each other. That is that's just crazy. And another thing, you talked about the roguelike activities. It's called Realm of the Nine. With crazy upgrades, you can just go buck naked wild and feel so powerful. And of course, it does get challenging the higher you get. It's what roguelike does, right? But you feel powerful. While Bungie's over here telling us this is all getting nerfed and we're going to have to, cut this back and we don't want you to get too powerful. Destiny Rising's like, hold my beer. How powerful can we get here? So that...
Well, they're going to have nerfs, I guarantee, at some point.
Of course. It's a new game. But, I understand.
Yeah.
And what was that? Yeah, the Gambit was just... I heard a streamer talking about the Gambit and I was watching some of the replay of it and I was like, that sounds fun. And I know Bungie's coming out with a revised version of Gambit. If they even just came out with Gambit Prime like they did back in the day, I might be happy. And as long as you have some maps to play, Bungie, don't give us 2 maps and say, there you go, guys, we fixed it. You got to give us at least some of the older maps or something. Give us some. It's like Crucible, man. You need to throw the maps back in, Bungie. Throw the old maps back in. I mean, the assets are there. Anyway, yeah, you talked about the mythic rarity of weapons. They have like legendary, mythic, and then the exotics. They have actually 3 levels of weapons, which that, that got me all buzzing. They have MVP at the end of every match.
Oh, yes.
They have MVP show-off stuff, which I know it doesn't mean much, but if you're playing with your friends, it just gives you bragging rights, and you can shit all over your teammates and tell them they weren't good enough and get better and get good.
At the end too. We
Yeah,
get
full
sick
stats.
of in the raids. It
Yeah.
doesn't hardly tell us anything.
Yes.
But this tells us so much at the end. Yeah.
Only way we can get our stats in a raid is if we have to all wipe. It tells you what everybody did. Why don't we have stats at the end of every raid? Why do we have to go to Charlemagne bot to figure all that stuff out after we've completed the raid? There's a lot of third-party stuff that Bungie does use or that benefits the game in Destiny 2 that's built into this game. What else did I have here? Gauntlet Ops. This is amazing. Gauntlet Ops. It's a pre-raid activity, and it starts teaching you the mechanics that are tied to the raid. So it's like soft training. That is like the exploratory mode, right? They delved in that a little bit with the dungeons. They had arrows and showing you where to go and how to traverse through the dungeons if you're exploring it. And there's no revives or anything you got to worry about. That was a good step for Bungie. They need to take the Destiny Rising's lead here and jump into a pre-raid activity so you can start teaching people these raid mechanics. And then you've got the Gauntlet Onslaught, which is the actual full raid encounter, which brings in those mechanics that you learned in Gauntlet Ops. And from what I heard, it's a pretty simple raid, but it's the first raid. Who knows where they can go from there. But here's what got me freaking excited to play this game. And for the record, I have not played this game. I've been watching a lot of people play this game. A lot of my friends. I've been watching some streamers out there play the game. Morgan's Prey and Legacy. It's a Gambit-like activity. It's 3-player. And the only intent for this game is farming materials. And you can focus on whatever material you need to get. So if you're trying to craft something and from what I heard, there's a ton of currencies in this game, more than Destiny 2 has. But if you need a certain thing in the game, you can just jump in this activity and just keep running it over and over again and, focus what you want to get from the activity. What a concept, Bungie. What a concept. I have to go around. I just showed you video of me going around and glimmer farming and getting my bounties done, getting my gun bounties done, and getting my, XP towards my season pass rewards. You got a whole activity built into the game here where you can start farming activities, farming your materials that you need in the game.
Division kind of does that too.
Do they?
Yeah.
That had me excited because that gives me a purpose to jump on, watch some shows, watch some YouTube, and jump into Morgan's Prey and Legacy activity. And it's very Gambit-like from what I heard. It's three player. And then, of course, the Shifting Gates is the Gambit activity you talked about. 6 teams of 3. That's amazing, man. They have a PvP mode. It's only on the weekend, kind of like Trials, called Iron Bar. They have deck building aspects where you can challenge your NPCs. That was the card game, and you can win like mythic weapons. I mentioned that already. The fishing, much better. Multiple tiers of fish, and you get stuff, really cool stuff for it. The Wolf Den is what the housing's called, the clan housing. Very MMO-like. And like I said, you can earn currency, clan currency that you can put into the clan housing. Think of the bragging rights, man. We're GDC1. Look at our clan housing. Well, GDC2 come along and say, well, yeah, but you guys don't have any of this stuff at the top. We had Mythos Swims. He came in and we upgraded that last week with some currency he earned. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That is just so much fun, man. That just gets me excited. Animated emblems. I mean, I've been begging Bungie for animated emblems. There's, I think Astrocross talked about this. He says people pay $300 or $400 just to get the stupid emblem to get through whatever, if it's a Trials emblem or the new raid emblem or whatever, paying money to bring carry services to get emblems. I know Bungie's got the artists to do this, and I don't know what it means as far as bandwidth, as far as making them animated, but we already have animated shaders. It's not much of a step further. The only problem is, my final thoughts on this, the only problem I have with this game is if it was made for console or PC, I'd definitely be jumping into it. But because I have to use an emulator or have to, God forbid, play it on a phone, I have to wear readers, man. I don't want to play on my damn phone. I don't play phone games other than of course my card game. But even then I have to squint to see, are those spades or hearts, you know, when I play my Balatro. But if it was made for PC or a console, I'd be all over it.
Don't worry about the emulator. There's nothing. It works beautifully, smoothly. It's easy to set up.
How is the input lag?
No worse than what you would notice on playing on the actual mobile. If anyways, it's actually really, really close. It's not going to be exactly like Destiny because you can't, but then you can't with any mobile game. But it is way more close and impressive than I thought it would be.
But here's probably the main reason why I haven't played the game yet. I am a graphics snob. I have the means to have 4K, 120 frame graphics when I play a raid or when I play jump into Crucible or whatever. This is a mobile game. Even with an emulator, you can only get it to look so good. And the last reason why...
Have you watched the streams? Actually is very good graphically. Yeah, very good graphically.
But the main reason I haven't played this game...
You keep saying main reason. Is your third one going to be?
This is my third reason why. This is my third... Okay, let's just say this is my third... This is my third excuse why I haven't played Destiny Rising.
The first two weren't good enough excuses.
And this is the most important reason. I know my tendencies. I would spend a ton of money in this game. And I just know this is not good for me.
Yeah.
I spend tons of money on silver already, just getting cosmetic stuff. I know myself all too well. That credit card will be on fire if I jump into this game. I'm kind of like Astrocross. It's fun. Yeah, it's a good game. Nope, they're not going to get any of my money. I'm not diving into this thing. And keep in mind too, Kingsley, we got a lot of games coming up, man. I mean, Borderlands 4 is going to take up probably most of my time.
Just coming up with excuses not to try it. But
and Battlefield 6 in October. Here's my
what is this the real reason now? You're on the fourth one now.
Here is what I actually think is going to happen. I actually think Destiny Rising is just a flash in the pan right now. I don't really think this game has longevity. I don't really do. I don't think it has longevity. I really don't. I think people are going to come back to the original.
Especially when it had 10 million people and
I know
doing really good so far.
because people are going to get tired. You know how bitchy people get when they get time gated in anything in Destiny 2. Wait till they figure out they have to be time gated to get something the next
The
day.
people that are playing the game already know that and don't mind the time gating.
Okay.
The majority of people
they know
playing
that going
Destiny
in.
Rising are fully going into it knowing what's happening. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's
I just know all too well.
And you're not going to play it anyway, so you can't say that everyone's thinking the same way you are.
Yeah, Plush Rabbit's got some good points.
The people that are actually playing it do know about the time gating, and they're mostly okay with it. Now, I kind of agree with some of your points, but I first just wanted to push back on.
There's a lot of excuses.
It is a lot of excuses. You can't say that everyone's thinking the same way you are, because I guarantee a majority of people that are playing the game and enjoy it are already used to how these mobile games work, and they are okay with that.
Right.
Even it's not just for kids. Even a lot of adults play mobile games that are time gated. And first, let's get into the discussion. Okay, I have two talking points. First, let's get into the discussion on. Yeah, that sucks if you would be tempted to spend money.
The gambling aspects.
Yeah,
my son cannot play this game either.
People that play mobile games like the Candy Crushes or things like that don't spend money. They just do their dailies until they're done, and then they wait until the next day. My wife does that. I've even done that occasionally. But I do kind of agree that it can get annoying sometimes when you're having time gated stuff. I would way rather just have a game that I pay for. Imagine if this was a subscription and you get everything for like $8 a month. Everything.
Done.
Well, maybe not like all the cosmetics,
Done.
but like everything else. There's no time gating.
No problem. I'd be there in a minute. But the gambling aspects of it, having to re-roll, that's just a freaking slot machine, man.
No, don't say you have to. That's you put it on yourself. You do not have to.
Okay.
You do not have to do any of that.
You play a game, though. I'm going to push back. You play a game to be able to get animated emblems or Goth Mommy, which Plush Rabbit mentioned, with the dual wielding weapons. I understand. There's people that are even emotionally attaching themselves to Goth Mommy in this game, trying to dress her up in different outfits and stuff. And hey, man, whatever floats your boat. I'm not judging. I really don't. But I'm very much an investment type gamer. And the main reason, like I said, I don't like the gacha aspect to it, but I don't like the fact that you have to spend to win and or pay to win a lot of stuff.
You can wait. It's time gated if you don't want to pay.
What was that other game that was supposed to be a Destiny killer that you had to everybody
you have to?
Yeah,
that's not true at all.
Okay. In my mind, I have to, because that's just my mindset.
In your mind, you have to.
But there was another game. There was another game that came out that was very Destiny-like as well. And remember, it had like the woman in the bikini had the butt cheeks flopping in the wind, had the boobs sticking out and stuff. But they said you could earn these outfits, but you had to play all these hours to get. I mean, like incredible hours to get it. So
so
that's my worry.
So that's a game has to make money somehow. So like either you're going to do the free version and then hold back, or you're going to pay for it if you want. But I know a lot of people that I've talked to, and the way I would play it too is I'm okay with the time gating. In fact, I almost even appreciate that, because it kind of actually then forces you to stop playing, so you're not so addicted. Like you play some through the day, you reach the limit, and then you come back the next day or something.
I know I'm trying to be the antithesis of your argument here, but I have to admit, man, there's so many damn good things in this game. Do you know what this game is to me? If Destiny 3 actually came out, this is what I envisioned a Destiny 3 would look like.
Yes, and that was going to be my next point. This is why we need a Destiny 3. People keep saying, no, we can add the stuff in the current game. We can't, mostly because of technical reasons. We cannot get all this stuff in Destiny 2 as it is. We need a whole new engine. The game needs to be built from the ground up. And we need to have a huge, huge team. Like Sony brings in a studio of like another 1,000 or 2,000 people. And then that's how Destiny will be great again. It happened. NetEase did it with this mobile game, even if this game isn't for you. But this can happen with Destiny. We can make a Destiny 3. We can have it happen with all these great things, with new content, new there's more characters to pick also, and subclass things that you can do. There's all this fun stuff that we can't, I promise we cannot get even half of this stuff in the current game
No
because of
way.
mostly technical
Yeah.
problems. Also because the studio is too small developing
Yeah.
Destiny right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So again, why people were like, we don't need a Destiny 3. No, this is why we need a Destiny 3. When you look at a game like Destiny Rising and what it all did, and I still hope, at this point, there is no Destiny 3. And even if they started one tomorrow, which they probably won't,
It can be 5 or
we're
6
still probably
years.
3 to 6 years after that. So whatever, but
Here's the
it
thing.
could happen sooner if Sony
Yeah.
dropped another couple studios on them and another 1,000 to 2,000 people.
This is also what irritates me about Destiny Rising and NetEase. They paid their $100 million or whatever for the rights to use all the stuff and that Bungie's made, but they're like the middle kid. They're like the younger siblings in the family. I'm firstborn, so I made all the fuck ups. I did all the mistakes. I'm the one that stubbed my toe, made this mistake, and they just quietly sat back. My brother and sister just quietly sat back and said, well, I'm not going to do that. And then all this, it seems to me like Tencent has been keeping an eye on the Bungie community for years now, and have slowly been listening to those forums, been watching those forums, been watching these content creators with their frustrations with the game, and have slowly built this game based on all those years of hearing feedback from our community. So they have a benefit here that they didn't have a moving target when making this game. They built the game from the beginning. Boom, here it is. Everything that you guys have ever wanted in Destiny and have been complaining about. But look at Destiny 2. We have so many weapons, old stories, and it goes back to your technology thing. We have so many moving parts now in the Destiny 2 game. It's gotten so big. Even if you take out the sunsetting that they did on Red War, that to make any changes, it's like steering that Titanic right now. It takes way too much effort to move it just a little bit. Whereas a mobile game like this from NetEase is much more nimble. They're talking about doing weekly updates, and getting DLC out. Lots, they probably got months and months of DLC already stacked out ahead. They have the advantage because of that.
Well, the main reason why they have the advantage is because it's built on newer technology too. And this is, to add to your analogy, it's, what it also is? It's also the older person, the you person or whatever, they're not cutting their losses, they're set in their ways. And
Yes.
if Bungie would have cut their losses sooner and started making a Destiny 3 instead of just staying with what they have.
Yep.
Again, I know not everyone agrees with that, but it's just back to my point. But like, we're never going to see even probably a fourth of these things in Destiny 2. So who knows? Now there's still hope we can get closer if they do a middle ground where they cut off old gen and then rebuild the engine, but still have it be Destiny 2. Okay, whatever. Then
they just need to reset.
That can be a good middle ground. It's still not going to be the same as making a whole new game.
Right.
But until they cut the old gen and make a full new engine, not just the graphics engine, but the actual full new engine, Destiny 2 has so many limitations.
What's up, Native Raider? I see you out there, buddy. How you been, buddy? He says, look at all these handsome faces I haven't seen in a while. It's good to hear from you, man. It's been a while. From the Blueberry Lounge podcast.
So there you have it. Destiny Rising. It's quite, let me say, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, Sony, if you're listening, we need to put about 100 people together. You need to create another studio called, I don't know, Destiny Legends or something, or Bungie Legends. And we need to start working on a Destiny 3. You need to start looking at what everybody likes in Destiny Rising.
You need way more than that.
Well, I think they can do it with 100 if Sony's got a lean crew. I think they could make it happen. It's going to take 3 to 5 years probably to make this game. Start working on a Destiny 3 right now, and then have the other team that's already in place, the 100 members that are maybe less than 100 members.
Is what's in place right now.
Yeah. All right. Have them keep producing content like they are now with the portal system, keep increasing the portal system, keep adding stuff to it, and keep us happy until then, and then wham us in the face, slap us in the face with that Destiny 3, and we'll just go, oh shit, it's finally here. Destiny 3 is finally here. They listened to us. They made the game we always wanted. Sony, get on it. I'm telling you, This game has so much potential, and that's why me and Kingsley get so frustrated every week talking about this game. It has so much potential and what Bungie can do for it. But think of all the management changes they've had. I mean, where is Pete Parsons has gone now? But what about Noseworthy? What about Smith?
What about him?
I think that probably nullifies my. Anyway, I can probably go talk to him now that he's not working for Bungie anymore. Anyway, there's been so many changes in management. I imagine the developers in that studio probably hardly recognize each other right now. There's so many new faces in that that originally started the Destiny 2 game. I just think they need to. I mean, Sony is so good at this; they can put these little studios together and start working on it. The problem is, like, and I mentioned this last week in our topic, in our roundtable episode, it's so tough for developers because it takes them longer than it takes to make a movie. And then they have to hope by the time the 5-year mark passes that people still want to play that kind of game. It's such a gamble, but I don't know, man. I really wish that Sony would take the reins and just drive this boat. Well, I don't know.
No one can say the gamble did not pay off for Destiny Rising. They are going to make a lot of money.
That $100 million, they're going to make 10 times, 30 times that easily. Oh, yep. $3 billion. I guarantee you they're going to make $3 billion. Watch it. It's going to happen. I mean, they're also probably learning from Fortnite and all these other live service games out there, and with skins and stuff for $35 each, you know, I don't know. I like I said, I'm an investment gamer, and I've invested so much time in Destiny 2 that I just don't. I'm so afraid to invest in this game. I think it'll have staying power. I think it'll be around for a while, but I just don't want to have to go to an emulator and play a mobile game on a PC. I just don't want to do it.
It does. You don't have any reason to understand why you don't want that, because it feels just like a normal game. It opens up full screen. There's nothing different.
I thought the voice acting was a little.
So you keep coming with new excuses. Yeah,
I know.
But stop saying the emulator one. No, I agree. The voice acting isn't great, but the reason why they have so much content in there is because they actually used AI for the voices, and I'm fine with that because I would rather have more levels, more missions, more story if they don't have to focus on schedules of hiring someone to an actual voice actor. Now, it is a little cheesy at times, but like, honestly, how much is that really getting in the way, or do people care? Especially if you're replaying stuff, no one cares about the voice acting anyways. You can just mute the sound or whatever and just do your grinding. There's no voice acting when you're grinding just bounties, right? You're just running
some people mute the voices anyway. And use the subtitles. You know what? It just occurred to me what NetEase is. It's Bungie in 10 years. They're going to have AI built into their game. They're going to be able to create things at lightning speed. It's basically Bungie in 10 years. Once they can integrate AI into doing all their coding, and you don't have to rely on people making a mistake.
Also,
I don't know, man. Think about it. If you used AI to do your game coding instead of hiring a whole wing of programmers.
Yeah, but they didn't say they did that. It was for the voices and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
It's possible they did some, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good topic, Kingsley. I'm glad you were on it, man, because I had a lot to say about it, but I really didn't know what angle to take this because I haven't played the game. So I'm glad that you at least tried it.
And it's true. It may not be for you, but a lot of the points you bring up are not absolute truths for most people. The emulation, you don't even know. It's just like opening any other app on your PC. So many of the things, most people can. Now, I do feel for the people that are addicted by spending money and gambling. Yeah, you shouldn't. I'm not saying you should play the game if you really truly have that problem. But I also think it's unfair to say that no way do most people have that problem.
Yeah.
Plenty of people play free-to-play games.
Yeah.
And they actually are okay sometimes with those daily time limits, which also we had some comments in the Twitch chat that there's a bunch to do even after you use your daily energy. They had unlimited, the side quests, the card games and everything's unlimited. You can farm stuff without daily energy now with lower drop rates on exotics, like,
Okay.
if it's a lower drop rate. Anyways, most people would say that are used to free to play games, this is the lightest of any. You can barely call it a gotcha game. It's the lightest of light gotcha type game. Sure, you can be tempted into spending money on these card pulls, but you really don't have to.
Okay. MJT2 says he still hasn't spent any money yet. You know what? Ultimately, I guess without you get past all the excuses and stuff, the reason I won't play this game is it is so for me. That's what I'm afraid of. So it's too much for me. So I'll just continue farming my glimmer on Cosmodrome. And
would you use that excuse if Destiny 3 came out? You're like, I can't stop playing Destiny 2.
Then I'm supporting Bungie. Anyway. Great topic. Before we go tonight, we have some questions from our community, and we're going to do that when we return.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get into
there
our
actually
questions.
were a lot of people when Destiny 2 came out. They didn't move to it right away. Remember, they stayed on Destiny 1.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah. I remember those days. That's for sure. Okay, let's get to our Discord here. I'm going to break off from chat here so Tajo can't trash me.
I'm glad there was. That's back when we actually used to do the Wrath of the Machine raid like once a month, because when the first year of Destiny 2 wasn't the best, and we would actually go back and play Destiny 1 some.
Yeah. I'm going to remind me to go over the question of the week before we leave. We'll briefly cover that real quick.
Remember it, but yeah, I'll remind you if you don't.
Okay. Here we go. Time to rise up. MJT2, you're funny. This is for both of you, Vanilla Gorilla. If each of you could have a sit down with one Bungie employee, past or present of your choice, who would it be? Well, let me read that during the show. Let me record that one. We'll include it in the show that way for our audio listeners.
You gotta be careful, because if a bunch of people do last minute questions, it could get out of hand.
Well, we have a limit. We have a time limit. I know how much time we have left here. So, okay, here we go. 3, 2. All right, boys and girls, this is the final segment of our show. This is where we get our questions from you guys. And I'm going to go right to chat first. Vanilla Gorilla, one of our new members in our Discord, welcome. From our Twitch chat, he says, this is for both of you. If each of you could have a sit down with one Bungie employee, past or present of your choice, who would it be? And what is the first major question you would ask them? Man, that's a big question. For me, it would probably be Marty O'Donnell, because he was one of the original members of Bungie. And I would probably ask him, when did you first know that it was going off the rails and made you leave Bungie? Because I know he got ousted, but I had a feeling I think from what I hear from the past of when he was with Bungie, he disagreed with the direction that a lot of these guys were going and kind of got pushed out. And there's been lawsuits and stuff from there, but it'd probably be Marty O'Donnell for me, since he was one of the original Bungie developers. You think of somebody, Kingsley?
Yeah, actually, the main original guy, Jason Jones. This is back like in the 90s when they were making Mac games and stuff only, and then they switched to making PC games also. And this is, of course, the original Marathon and some of their older games and stuff. And it's interesting, two reasons why, because I was always intrigued by, especially back then, and people that it was him and I forget the other guy's name that kind of started the studio way back. Was it Marty? Was he the original second guy? Or
Marty was the third. Marty was the third guy. The third guy was, wasn't it Pete Parsons? No, he came in later. He came in later. Jason Jones.
Someone Google who started Bungie.
There were 3 people who were just sitting making games for Macs.
It was 2 at first, really. Two. Oh, Alex Seropian and Jason Jones. They were the 2 main people before they started. They are known as the co-original creators.
Right.
And with Jason Jones, I was always intrigued because I think about, like, this is one of these typical stories, like how Apple started in a garage in California with Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, or how Bungie started in their house as like they just started making video games. These 2 guys, these 2 kids, they were in the early 20s, and then it turns into this big thing later on. But what's also interesting is, more so now, I want to know what happened, because supposedly I was watching a expose on how Bungie has had issues over the years, and supposedly a lot can be blamed on Jason Jones, actually. Sometimes people that create a company, the original idea that they maybe had in the 90s isn't a good idea these days. And he's not in charge. He doesn't do anything with the company anymore, but supposedly he's still like involved as like a behind the scenes silent investor. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like he could have input, but he never
He
does.
never was in the live
And
streams. He was always in the background.
yeah, and obviously, I mean, because they have a CEO and other people, but like he's still kind of like just like this invisible person behind the scenes that's probably just raking in money and never has good ideas anymore. And so that's why I kind of just want to know what's up with him these days, but even how he started the company back in the day.
That'd be a good question to ask him. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that question, Vanilla Gorilla. All right, we have some in the Discord here. Oh wow. Okay, we've had some added. We previewed most of them. Okay, well, we'll do what we can. This is from ArcSeas, another new member of our community. Welcome. You both have almost touched on this topic so many times in the podcast, and I can tell Kingsley is holding back slightly when it comes up. Okay. Ripping the Band-Aid off, how do we feel about the fact that in 6 months, the grind repeats if we want tier 4 or 5 of new stuff? You can argue all you want about the fact that the seasonal bonus is irrelevant to the average player, but the tier really does make a huge difference considering it's at least in part replacement for crafting. Yes, I agree. Extra perk options to reduce RNG issues. I personally think the community will have a meltdown come Renegades going back to getting tier 2 loot with a 50+ hour grind required to get back to tier 4. You want to answer that one first, Kingsley? You want me to?
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of talked about it in the
Yeah.
podcast, but yeah, thanks for bringing this up, ArcC. I kind of think that they'll have a meltdown too. I see this coming a million miles away. That being said, it doesn't bug me. I mean, because of two reasons. If I liked the grind, I kind of respect it. It's other games do that where you kind of reset and have to start up again. Also, yeah, the tier 4 and 5 stuff, I understand it makes importance to a lot of people, but to me, not as much. So it's easy for me to ignore that and not care. So I'm just going to be sitting back laughing, whatever happens. But I do feel like a lot of people do not understand how big of a deal this will be. And then I'm going to predict that people are going to be upset, and then Bungie might scrap this whole system a year from now, which is kind of sad, but
No.
whatever. We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't do that. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm grinding two more accounts right now. This is what I love about Destiny, man. I'd play alt accounts just to do the progression all over again. So it's not fair to ask me this question because I'll say absolutely 200, no problem. We'll just start grinding again. You can figure you're going to get all new weapons. You're going to get all new gear. It's going to give you something new to aspire to play for. And keep in mind, it's not a 10 to 400 grind or 10 to 450 or 550. It's going to be a 200 to 400 or 550. Maybe 400, I think.
Small difference. It was quick to 200 anyways.
It was. Yeah, I love the grind. I love this new portal system. It hits all the points for me. But I don't know, man. I think Bungie, okay, honestly, I think Bungie's going to walk back some of it. I don't think they're going to do it completely. I think they'll probably land us at 300 instead of 200. They may split the difference and just create a little, make it, or what they're going to do. And they said they're increasing they're making the grind easier come Ash and Iron. I'll wait and see for that. I mean, I know this helps the Prime Ingram guys. And of course, you know, from 400 where I'm at now to 500, it will go just as fast as it did from 2 to 400 with the +3s and stuff and any of the activities. But I'm wondering if they kind of meet the players halfway here, being that this is a new system and stuff. My prediction is that they're going to go to 300 and not 200. We'll see. Good question, though. Thanks, ArcC. Appreciate you, man. Abaddon 866. This is a long one. Hang in there. Not sure if this is technically a Destiny question, but a combination of Todd's new podcast and watching my 10-year-old nephew obsessing over Fortnite got me thinking about it. I'm 41 and find myself struggling to connect with Destiny these days. What do you believe Destiny 2's target audience is age-wise? And do you think you're a member of that? And does that affect your enjoyment of the game either way? For me, the older I get, the more I value my time, and it seems the less of it I have. So things like this seemingly endless grind for power and better weapon and armor tiers is a major turnoff. but I love the gunplay and build crafting. So I find myself doing something I genuinely dislike for the chance to enjoy the game for a month or so. And then reset happens and we all have to do it all over again. I know this is a very popular game model for games like World of Warcraft, where every expansion you essentially start over. Just curious if you feel the same way I do. The older I get, the harder it is becoming for me to stay engaged and keep pushing forward when I know my time would be better spent on other things. Man, that is a great question, Abaddon. I'll answer first, Kingsley, since you did last time. For me, as I've gotten older, my gaming habits have changed quite a bit. I actually like grinding more because I feel like I'm investing my time into the game. Now, the reset part, not too hot about. I'd rather just keep cranking up the number like we did in prior Destiny 2 and just becomes a higher and higher number. The reason Bungie's resetting us back to 200 is for those people who come in and decide to play the Star Wars Renegades version of Destiny and say, well, gee whiz, everybody's at 400 and 450. I don't even know where to jump in here. And I think that's their biggest fear, is they're worried about people not being able to jump in, refresh and restart with everybody else. I think that's the reason they reset people back to 200, or why they plan to do that in Renegades. For me, definitely time played is important to me. Like you just said, Abaddon, my play time is valuable to me. But when I'm doing little piddly odds and ends stuff like like fantasy football drafts or watching YouTube videos and running, low thinking events, just to grind and get scores up and stuff, I actually enjoy it. It's keeps my mind busy, and I just enjoy seeing number go up. So for me, I've been even more engaged. Like I said a few shows ago, when the what was the event, Kingsley, that they did with the before the Fate saga? What was that? What was that activity they had us do that was like a bunch of dungeons?
Just called the dungeon event.
The dungeon event. I never thought about playing the dungeon events. I would come home and I would come home and I would go watch shows, or I'd go play other games, or I'd go do something else out in the world. I really didn't have any FOMO or any kind of I didn't even think about Destiny at the end of the Light and Dark saga and the episodic stuff that they had. But now I get home and I'm like, okay, my GDC 2 character, I'm going to get him to 100 tonight. And I'm going to make sure we get all these planetary bounties done. I have a list of things in my head that I want to do. So that's just my style of play. But it beats the years and years of playing the same thing, Call of Duty, playing the same multiplayer, the same maps, getting the same old guns, no new guns, just the same guns every time they come out with that time period. And I just got burnt out on all that. Plus, my God, the toxicity playing in those lobbies. And Destiny was a lifeline for me, man. I could play by myself. I could play against other people. I could play with my friends. There's so many different ways to play Destiny 2 versus Call of Duty was just so stale. And even Battlefield to some extent was kind of stale, because all you were doing is just playing the same multiplayer game. And we'll see what Battlefield 6 brings, if it makes things better. But for me, that's the way I've changed as a gamer as I've gotten older. And I think if anything, Abaddon, I think the average age of the gamer for Destiny has been going up, not going down. Even though I know you understand your child is having fun playing it, I think they're targeting more to the older gamers. That's just my opinion. I'll let you talk, Kingsley.
Okay, definitely that was long-winded. Okay, so his question was, what do you think Destiny 2's target audience is?
Mhm.
Now, I don't think they actually have a target audience. No developer wants to. They want to get everyone. I mean, I'm sure they run surveys to see who most people play are, but they want to make the game appealing to everyone if they can.
Mhm.
But the thing right now, though, is it's not so much an age thing. It's
Right.
we have less players overall, so it's more the hardcore players. And that's why I think the game is how it is right now, where it's more about grinding. It's more about um, seeing the number go up, which is whoopee for me. I don't care, but
I
like
know.
a lot of people like that. So the people that like to grind, they're going to stick around. That's different than when we had the 2 million plus population, a while ago. So that's just what I think. But I really don't think they do have a target audience age wise. It would kind of be stupid to not. I guess if you're considering target audience, like, okay, these are our main, but we're not going to, as long as they're developing for young and old also. Yeah, but I don't really care if they do or don't. But I think it's more just they have less players right now.
Okay. Thank you, Abaddon. Appreciate the question there, brother. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at time. Okay. We have a question from Deadpool, one Merc, our Dungeon Champion patron. 2 questions for this show. Are you excited for the new reward pass in Ash and Iron? Well, we'll see. And the second question is, do you think it'll just be like the current one, or will be hoping that it's going to be better? Yeah.
So I got to talk because I was shaking my head yes and no, but people listening to our podcast can't hear. But anyways, am I excited for the new reward pass? New. Do you think it'll be like the current one? Yes. Are you hoping it's going to be better? No. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the one. I wanted the reward pass. I wanted the seasonal track because anything you played in the game, you would get credit toward. The XP would go, and you would get this deterministic loot. Right. That's the one thing I love about Destiny is to find that I can look ahead and see what I can unlock. So, to answer your question though, am I excited? I'm always excited for new stuff. Do I think it's going to be any better? I have to side with Kingsley on this one. I think it'll be pretty much a lot of the same. Unfortunately, we'll see in Renegades. I'll see if they change it up in Renegades, but I think it'll be more.
Yet. Why would they now?
No,
they would probably tell us if they were to get us excited, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, one more Destiny question. Him got a gun. 5170 says the exotic nerf this week. Hot take.
That's too vague.
Well, if it's about the pulse rifle,
of course that's what you're gonna think.
Yeah.
But is the pulse rifle exotic? So it's not that.
I mean, he said the exotic nerf, right? I mean, they nerfed a couple exotics, I think, didn't they?
Exactly. That's why I said vague, but we could probably take it either way.
Well,
we want.
How about we give a hot take on the exotic we think they're going to nerf? We're thinking he's asking about. For me, it's going to be Outbreak Perfected. I'm curious to see. They say they're reducing the nanite damage slightly to offset the super production and the super adding to your super recharge rate. My hot take, I guess I'm going to have a hot take, right? I would say my hot take is it's not going to make any difference. I'm hoping it doesn't make any difference.
That's a good hot take.
I'm hoping it doesn't make any difference, but I'm wishing it, I'm putting it out there into the atmosphere, into the world that it's not going to make a difference, and I can still just destroy yellow bars with it. Yeah. That's my hot take.
And shout out to Tajo. He kind of says the same thing in the chat. It's basically just going to make your super come back a little slower, but whatever.
I'm good with that. As long as they can nerf that part without nerfing my damage numbers that I'm putting up, I'm good with it.
Okay, and my hot take is it's okay that they're nerfing Lord of Wolves because I was watching the damage numbers with Aztecross the other day, and it was number 2, basically on damage. Next to, I think it was the only thing that beat it was the heavy crossbow with like a bunch of like perks on it,
which you can only get from the raid.
Yeah, and so look, the fact that it's up that high still, I'd be fine if it was like 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, but like it's okay that they're nerfing it. That's my hot take. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, a couple of non-Destiny questions, and we're going to call it a night, guys. Tajo traded a question. Is there a piece of advice or saying that was told to you as a child before you turned 18 that stuck with you or helped you make choices in your life as you got older? Kingsley, you got anything on this?
Oh yeah. I like this question. I thought about it a little bit ahead of time. I'm glad I did. When I was growing up, I used to always think I kind of just hate cheesy platitudes and terms and stuff like,
Yeah.
oh, the golden rule, blah, blah, blah. But that one is so meaningful in my life because it's about fairness and being nice to people because you would want them to be nice to you. And not just about niceness, but it's how you treat and always, not just emotionally nice, but just fair and just your business dealings and everything.
Yeah.
And it's such an important tenet in my life. It's like one of the main tenets of how I live my life is the golden rule. And so even though I thought it was kind of a cheesy saying growing up and I first heard about it when I was like a kid or a teenager or whatever, I appreciate that saying so much now as an adult.
Yeah. I had so many great family members that spent time with me when I was younger. And teenage years are the toughest, man, because you think you know everything and you know nothing. And I had several things of advice that have stuck with me, but I guess I'll have to go with one here. My dad, I used to work with my dad when I was 13. I worked in construction. My dad would make aluminum enclosures, porches, screen rooms. I mean, it's Florida. That's what we do here. We try to get away from the mosquitoes, but still enjoy the outdoors. And he was really big in a trailer park, a camper park, whatever you want to call it, a park model, big, giant one in Kissimmee. And he made tons of money in those years because everybody wanted to use him because he always did the best job. He always did the best work. And I was talking to one of those customers one day while he was working. I was only 13. All I could do was hold stuff. And I went to my dad and I said, man, that customer is really nice. He gave us water and everything. I said, we need to do a good job for him. And my dad looks at me dead-eyed and says, we do a good job for every customer. Still the way I do all my jobs right now. When I service and take care of my clients to this day. So thanks, Dad. That was great advice. Trying to get emotional when it comes to my dad.
You know, I totally appreciate what you're saying. You know, I run a business too. I kind of take a blend of that though. You can give excellent service to everyone, but if you know someone's gonna, it's still worth spending more time with them, you know, because they might give you more referrals. It doesn't mean you're going to do the actual job for them, but maybe you'll talk to them a little bit longer at the end, or because it's worth it because they're going to hook you up either monetarily or more connection.
Yeah, go that extra mile. I mean, if you, I mean, dude, it is.
I know I get it. I do the same amount of good job for all my customers, but there's something about like the aftercare, the extra credit part where sometimes it's worth giving certain customers more attention.
Yeah.
You know?
And that brings up kind of something related to that is service workers today just get shit on. And people don't even look people in the eye when they say, hey, if there's anything you need here, I try to purposely make sure I'm not saying, no, I'm good. No, I try to actually look at them and give them my undivided attention and say, and I try to smile. I don't smile a whole lot. I just don't smile a whole lot. And I would try to crack at least a medium smile and say, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate you asking. I try to be appreciative, especially to service workers out there because they get shit on every day from assholes that come through there. And that's the way, like I say, that's always the way I try to treat everybody. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree with that.
We could have a whole podcast episode on that. All right. Last question is from Kilvin. I've heard you guys refer to other gaming podcasts you enjoy. Can you give us your Mount Rushmore of the ones that are still active today? I've got a few.
I'll go first because I really don't have much that are still active today. I think that's been mostly Todd that said it. I mostly listen outside of our little thing and you know, I don't even re-listen to our podcast because I'm here experiencing it in real life, so I don't need to. But I mostly listen to tech podcasts. So if you're really interested, hit me up, Kilvin, but they're mostly going to be Apple-based.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to just list them out in case people aren't interested. I have ones in the past, but ones that aren't around anymore. Now, of course, I'm going to give shout out to Two Titans and a Hunter and such, but I don't really listen to gaming podcasts, believe it or not. I might start listening to a Division 2 one if there are any out there.
There's
So
probably
maybe ask me in a couple weeks.
there's Battlefield ones still out there that I listen to. Yeah. Gaming podcast. I mean, the GOAT is Gamertag Radio. I mean, they're still doing it today. I think they're in like 1,400 episodes or something. They've been doing it since 2007. I would love to sit down with Danny Pena one day and just say, dude, how have you lasted all this time? How do you guys not get burnt out? And he has the same, he has the same co-host. He's had the same co-host for quite a while. He said there's been changes in the past, but I mean, dude, it's been since 2007. But they don't always talk about games I want to hear about. But when they do have a game that I do want to hear about, I'll definitely tune in and listen to those guys. But I love all those guys on that show. And the Ultimate GOAT podcast, which is not active anymore, it was Crucible Radio. Man, I saved so many episodes from that Crucible Radio podcast. And they tried to keep it going for a while with new hosts, and you could just tell that they just, as of course the Crucible and Destiny 2 is kind of lost its luster among a lot of players. That was something I would still listen to today. I even thought about doing one myself, but I'm not a killer. I know just enough to get me in trouble, probably. And I don't know. I'd have to bring on people that were definitely killers out there that could tell me the optimum way to play and stuff. And I learned so much from Crucible Radio. You could probably go back and listen to some of their old episodes. I'm sure they're still out there, but yeah, those are the ones that are the Mount Rushmore of gaming podcasts for me. Good question. Thanks, Kilvin. Appreciate that, man. And finally, before we go tonight, we had our question of the week. Speaking of Destiny Rising, since that just came out last week, I decided to ask our community, are you guys playing Destiny Rising? And if so, what do you think of it? And
so many people answered that did not play it.
Exactly. Maybe gave reasons why they didn't play it like I did tonight.
Exactly.
31% said yes, they played it. And a whopping almost 70% said no, they did not play it. MJ,
there's only 16 people that responded, by the way.
It's okay. It's a matter of perspective. MJT2 said it's a way better than I expected. Really makes me wish a lot of the systems, clan progression, shifting gates activity, shoot to loot by default, tutorials for basically everything existed in D2. Yeah, and that's what our thing was about tonight. Mm-hmm. Zombie Pops, not really my thing. Played it for the emblem. It feels like they're trying to merge console and PC games with a mobile game. I don't really excel at either. Although I'm sure there will be people who like it, just not kind of my game. Barrel Barley says, from what I've seen, it does look pretty cool. I've heard it has a ton of unique game modes, but I'm not a mobile gamer in any way, so I don't see myself playing it. And yes, Kingsley, we understand you can easily put up an emulator to make it play on PC. And finally, Deadpool One Merc says, I haven't played Destiny Rising yet, but I've watched some streams and it looks pretty interesting. I might download it one of these days and give it a try. I'm usually not into mobile games, but I'm down to give this one a shot. I actually downloaded it. It's on my phone. I have an iPhone 16 that has tons of storage. So I said, what the hell? I went ahead and downloaded it, but I haven't sat down to play it yet. I tried the motion controls. Nah, it's too many. My thumbs are in the way too much, and it just ruins the experience for me.
No point trying that.
And I tried the controller too during the test beta. I tried the controller, and everything was very smooth to play on controller. But unless you have one of those controller mounts that you can mount your phone on the controller, it just was really awkward to play. And I guess the way everyone's doing it is the emulator.
The funny thing is probably more people are playing it emulated that I've talked to than on their phone.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder if we didn't have to use an emulator and they made a version for console or PC for the console or PC. I wonder how many people would be jumping from Destiny 2 right now.
Oh, well, I mean,
sometimes
it still wouldn't be as much as you would think because, again, the emulator doesn't mean anything, people. It runs perfectly smooth and it's easy to set up. And then, in fact, like Plush Rabbit says in the Twitch, and I went over all this
Yeah.
stuff. It runs really well, 120 hertz.
Okay.
You can do all the up to 4K, all that stuff.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it doesn't look like a mobile game on the PC.
Okay, I take that back then. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was trying to tell you.
I know. I don't listen half the time. My wife says I never listen.
Yeah. But even if, yeah, the thing is like, I think most people would still be playing both, because there will still be, back to the thing, like
Yeah.
most people probably won't want to be spending the money, or shouldn't be spending the money to do skips, so that there will be, sure, you can do the extra credit things, and you can do the side quests, unlimited grinding, but it's still not quite the same. It has a different feel still.
Right.
So it wouldn't take away as many people as you think. I think we would just spread our time between both more. And already people are doing that. I see a lot of people in our community playing both. It's not really taking people necessarily away from Destiny 2 per se. So
right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm too worried about, I know myself all too well. So I'll just put my head down and keep playing Destiny 2. Maybe one day I'll pop it off for shits and giggles and just put the emulator on and see. I know you can go to the website and it'll show you step by step how to do it. Another reason why Bungie needs a really good system to get people into their games. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming tonight. I want to thank everyone who stopped by and joined in on the conversation. Especially, we love that interaction. That's the reason I love doing live shows, so we can instantly get feedback from our chat, whether it's from Discord or whether it's from our Twitch stream or our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, follow the channel, hit that heart or whatever it is, hit the follow button on Twitch, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, just give me a thumb. Even if they had a middle finger, you could do that too, but just a thumb up or down. That way it'll possibly show our podcast to other people on YouTube. So I appreciate that. And of course, subscribe if you want to hear about, when we're coming live every week, and be able to do that. And of course, you can go to our Discord, discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. You can give us more feedback on what we've been talking about tonight. You can ask us questions for the show, or just hang out with our members. Make sure you say hi. We're pretty friendly Destiny community. So, check us out. Kingsley, where can people find you, sir, if they want to communicate with you?
In the Discord. Nothing else to mention. That's the best thing. And we have discussions there all the time. So look for me as Kingsley Mac in the Discord.
Thank you, sir. And that's it. I'm Todd the Gator, TODD, THEGATR, YouTube, Twitch, even on my all my Bungie accounts, just different numbers. 7359 is my main account if you want to send me a friend request. I think I have room for that. I'd appreciate that. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out, and we will see you guys next week. Later, Guardians. Ash and Iron, it's coming.
Have a good one.